Loves slot. He loves throwing inside. He directs 6.1 targets per game to tight ends as a starter with the Colts in 2023, 10 targets per game to Raiders tight ends last year. And again, Kelsey's going for a lot of milestones, 99 yards shy, moving into second place on the career tight end receiving list. J.J. McCarthy will run for over 13.5 yards. The Giants play a lot of man coverage. They give up the most rushing yards per game to quarterbacks. Justin Herbert will also get over 16.5 rushing yards. The Cowboys, they are a top 5 pass funnel. Over the last 5 weeks, they've given up the second most schedule adjusted fantasy points per game to quarterbacks in the running game. They gave up a rushing touchdown to J.J. McCarthy last week as well. See that? I flew through it, but we have given you the skinny on 12 props that I'm in on here. Lucky 13. What could go wrong here in week 16? We do have a best bet that is coming at you now. We are 11-4 on the season on best bets, and I think we're going to go 12-4 after this one. Stay tuned to VSiN. After we sign off, it is Money Moves with Jonathan Von Tobel at 2 Eastern. Mike Palm checks in from Circa Sports. Will Hill shares his sharpest sides, and Zach Cohen breaks down the NFL and NBA betting opportunities heading into the weekend. Follow the money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard at 4 Eastern. Then it's Circa Friday Football Invitational at 7 p.m. The best bet for Week 16 is large Mike Evans, over 55.5 receiving yards. Not an incredible schematic matchup, but it's good. He averages 2.08 yards per route run against the coverages he'll see. Looked fantastic last week, commanded a massive 23.6 expected fantasy points. Carolina allows the 8th fewest yards per game and the 13th fewest yards per target to outside receivers, and you'll see a lot of J.C. Horn. However, Evans has earned a massive 0.48 targets per route run and 4.27 yards per route run against Horn. He owns Horn. And the Panthers are generating the second lowest pressure rate and pressure rate over expectation, and Evans is averaging a league-leading 0.46 targets per route run when Baker has been kept clean, a 247% boost. It even applies going back to the beginning of last year. When kept clean, his yards per route run nearly triples with Baker Mayfield from 1.14 to 3.19. So come on, we're going to get 256 receiving yards for Big Mike Evans. We thank you for tuning in all week. We thank Michael Cohen. Good luck with all the plays, and, well, you're welcome.
CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/Investor Day.
Now there's a new way to take charge of your blood sugar. Introducing new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula from the makers of the nation's best-selling garlic supplement. New Garlic helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels with clinically supported levels of garlic, plus a custom blend of vitamins and minerals, and it's odor-free. Take charge of your blood sugar with new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
In sports, timing is everything, and your moment is now with VSiN. If you're a business owner, advertiser, or media buyer, VSiN connects your brands to millions of engaged sports fans who don't just watch the game, they live it. Reach fans across our live television shows, top-ranked podcasts, daily newsletters, and more than 400 radio affiliates nationwide, including SiriusXM Channel 158. You'll also find VSiN on YouTube TV, Rogers Sportsnet, Nesson, Marquee Sports Network, and VSiN.com. Take your reach even further with exclusive advertiser-only events where you'll build real relationships with our award-winning broadcasters, hosts, and fans in unforgettable high-impact settings. Trusted voices, proven engagement, product, and a loyal audience that listens, watches, and takes action. Your customers are here. Your message belongs here too. Advertise today at vsin.com/advertise or email advertising@vsin.com. That's vsin.com/advertise.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On vsin.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at vsin.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Celebrate in style with the Legacy Club Sunset Package at Circa Resort and Casino. Cozy up by a fire pit, enjoy handcrafted cocktails, and raise a champagne toast as the sun sets over the Las Vegas Valley. With breathtaking panoramic views and an unforgettable atmosphere, it's the perfect setting for any occasion. Legacy Club Rooftop Cocktails. Reserve your spot today at circalasvegas.com.
Your home for live betting is VSiN Primetime with Tim Murray and Matt Humans.
A lot of people just have to have action on these Monday or Thursday night games. That's not the way you want to bet. It's obviously not the way a pro's going to bet, but I also understand that the professionals don't make up the majority of our audience all the time, and there are a lot of people who just want some action on a game.
Especially isolated games like this.
VSiN Primetime, weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
The college football playoff is here, and VSiN's betting guide is your ticket to cashing in. For just $14.99, you'll get expert previews of every first-round matchup, playoff brackets from VSiN-hosted insiders, and the sharp insight you can't get anywhere else. Or skip the line and get it free with a VSiN Pro subscription. Go to vsin.com/CFP to purchase the guide and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN's College Football Tailgate Show, sponsored by Nahoku, right here on VSiN, the Sports.
You're listening to WRDB, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Western Reserve Radio is the Valley's online source for sports talk and local live events. Tune in and be a part of their live weekly shows, as well as all of the hard-hitting action of Youngstown Phantoms hockey, high school football, and the GDFL. Find them at westernreserveradio.com. Tune in and the Live 365 app to be a part of the area's sports conversation. Be sure to visit them on Facebook at Western Reserve Radio and on Twitter at WR_radio.
Here's a fun fact for you. The average chameleon can point their eyes in 2 different directions. On the other hand, the average human can't. So unless you're a chameleon, there's absolutely no way you can focus on texting and driving at the same time. So don't do it, unless you're a chameleon.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
It's time to kick back and listen to the Sports Page with your host, Pat Lucia, right here on Western Reserve Radio. You can call the show at 330-707-4202 and tell everyone what's on your mind in the wonderful world of sports. Now, here's your host, Pat Lucia.
Saturday morning Sports Page. Pat Lucia, Dave Clark. 330-707-4202. We'll do this today from 9 to 12. A little overtime action. Got a lot to get to, Dave Clark.
Yep.
Wonderful world of sports. We have the college playoff game last night. Talk a little bit about that big win by Alabama. And for all the naysayers out there that said Alabama doesn't belong in the playoff.
Right.
Maybe they were really, standing up there and shouting at the TV when Alabama was down 17-0. Mm-hmm. But Alabama came storming back. Actually scored 24 straight points.
That's right.
The pick six was probably I think that was the difference in the game. That changed the whole game, I thought, with that pick six. Alabama corner ran that in, and that flipped it over.
Well, that really flipped because it's right towards the end of the half.
Yeah, made it 17-17.
Yeah, and it
was 17-10, and it looked like, okay, Oklahoma was going to go in leading this game 17-10. Mateer throws that pick six, and that tied it.
Yep.
And, boy, that was a switch.
That's one thing I tell you, that was a good job by the defensive coordinator because he disguised their coverage.
Yeah.
See, it looked like a man. It did look like that. But then that corner sit down in that zone area, and he threw that pass. He thought he was in a man. The quarterback thought they was in a man coverage. And he said, I could zip that right in there. He settled down in that little pocket there and just waited.
He did.
Six, right to the house. There's things you got to, things you can do against certain quarterbacks and cause these things to happen. I tell you, that right there was a definite game changer because you felt the momentum coming, but that really did it. Went over the edge.
That was actually Zabian Brown. Mm-hmm. He actually had 101 pick six against Tennessee.
Yep.
They showed that. And he's like a rocket jet.
He's just gone.
Boy, he's quick. And he read that same thing in Tennessee. It was a little out. Looked like Tennessee was going to score the little down and out, and he read the quarterback's eyes, jumped the route, and never broke stride. And it was almost like that last night. Mm-hmm. And Mateer never saw him there.
No.
And I think the receiver ran the wrong route, maybe, because it looks like they didn't know if the receiver should have did a curl in, but went out. And I think Mateer thought he was doing a little down and curl in, throw the ball, and the receiver went down out, and it's not went down in, down out. And, and Brown he was looking, but he read the quarterback's eyes. So I don't know if it was blaming the receiver or.
Well, they just might not, because those, back in the day, we used to say run a curl pattern or a quick out. But they're not called that now.
No,
they're called option routes. So it's the quarterback and the receiver got to be on the same page. So they got to be seeing the same thing. So the receiver can go out and read the defense and says, I need to curl in. But the quarterback may see something different back there and say, no, you really need to curl out. And he may not. And if they're not on the same page,
no, they're not on the same page.
And it did look like man. When I looked at the coverage, that looked like man. But then he just settled in that pocket. They were in a zone. They made it look like a man, and that's what did it. So, I mean, he did it. He just took off and was gone.
He was gone. And he scored that with 50 seconds left in the half.
Yep, and that momentum.
And that tied it up.
It flipped. You could see the energy in them, and, man.
And then Alabama ended up going up in the second half, third quarter. He threw Simpson threw a really nice 30-yard touchdown pass to Brooks, make it 24-17. They added the field goal to make it 27-17. Now, Oklahoma, give them credit, they came back. Mateer threw a nice pass to Deion Brooks, 37 yards with 14:45 left in the fourth quarter to make it 27-24. And you thought, okay, this looks like they're into it, but Bama got the ball, went down the field, and ultimately scored with 156 sealing the game. Then once they went up by 2 scores, you could see that Oklahoma was pretty much done. Then they didn't stop Alabama. They needed to make that stop because when they scored the touchdown to make it 27-24, you thought, okay, there's 4:45 left in the game. Oklahoma goes, if we get a defensive stop and get the ball back, we're only down 3. And then you thought, okay, but they couldn't get the stop.
Scored again.
Alabama drove down the field, scored the touchdown. Daniel Hill had a nice 6-yard touchdown run, and that sealed the game.
And then, they still had an opportunity. It was really unfortunate the kicker missed that first.
Yeah, the kicker, the Alabama kicker, Connor. Yeah.
Because that still put them one possession down, and they were playing. It was like a back-and-forth type game. So they still had. But when they missed that, it seemed like all the wins, they say, went out the sales.
Yeah, it did.
They were done then.
Yeah.
So Alabama just ran the clock a lot. Had another kick, and he missed that too.
Yeah.
He missed the last one too.
Yeah, he did.
So, and then it was only a minute and something left in the game, and
that kicker, the Oklahoma,
Yep. Hadn't missed a kick since the first weekend.
And then he missed 2.
Yeah.
Back to back, the Oklahoma kicker. So it was a rough day for Oklahoma. A lot of promise playing at home in front of their crowd.
Yep.
Got up 17-0. But then Bama came storming back, and all the naysayers that said Alabama did not belong in the playoff.
Yeah.
Now they play Indiana.
Yeah, and I always thought they should. Even though I know they got blown out
against Georgia in the conference championship.
Yeah, but I just wondered how much were they invested. And then I said that when they played the first time, they were invested in that game, and they took care of business and beat them. And I just felt like I don't know how much they're into it. They need to be. Now, there's no excuse for it. They should have been, but I just said they should be in it. And like I said before, we talked about the playoff, Notre Dame should be in it. It's James Madison should be out. And I always thought, I never worried about if Notre Dame was going, I always felt that Miami should go. Not just because I like them, but I felt they were joined at the hip. I felt if Miami goes, Notre Dame should go. Because that game was close. It was a tight game.
3 points.
It was a good game. And everything, but it was just the fact that
because
since they're at large, James Madison's at large, right? They're not a conference winners. I mean, they might have been, but they were at large bid.
Leave it up to a committee to screw this up. Just leave it up to them to screw this thing up. I mean, it's so bad now because we'll do our college picks, but here. These games tonight, late today, I mean, and we'll get to them, but here. All right, now today at noon, Miami at Texas A&M, going to be a watchable game. It's a 3-point. Texas A&M laying 3. All right, tonight, or today at 3:30, Tulane is at Ole Miss. It's 17.5 points.
Mm-hmm.
Then the game tonight, James Madison at Oregon, which is at 7:30, it's 20.5 points.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that again, if Notre Dame was playing it, let's say, why don't we put Notre Dame in as a 12 seed? That was the spot James Madison got.
Yeah.
Why don't you, if you put James Madison in, Notre Dame in, and then you say, okay, Notre Dame, go out and play Oregon, the spread's probably what? 5 points?
Yeah, something like that. 4 or 5.
Notre Dame would probably Notre Dame would probably get 5 points.
Right.
Something and you'd have a hell of a game to watch tonight. Mm-hmm. I mean, Notre Dame at Oregon tonight at 7:30.
Yep.
That would be, and then you're competing now against Green Bay, is playing the Chicago Bears tonight, and that's got a lot on the line. That's the division title. But then
I can hear them hitting now.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a bone crunching game,
be
buddy.
One heck of a game tonight. And so the people out there wanting to know what am I going to watch, and 5 o'clock, we got the Eagles playing Washington.
Yep.
Now, granted, Washington won last week. They beat the Giants, who I think have personally seems like they've mailed it in. I have a friend of mine that doesn't agree with me, but
yeah,
I don't think the Giants right now are the number one pick, and we're going to get to that, what the Giants ought to do, because rumor is the Giants should be thinking of trading Jackson Dart and going after Fernando from the Indiana.
That's not going to happen.
And I don't think it's going to happen.
No, that's not happening.
I mean, I think Fernando's good, but he's not.
Yeah.
Are the Giants going to trade Dart? Supposedly, I had one. We'll get to this. I keep jumping ahead. Getting back to college real quick. So tonight you're going to be struggling. Do you want to watch the Packers and the Bears playing for pretty much a division title is at stake, plus the wild card? Both teams probably are going to get in the playoffs. We'll look at that picture. Or do you want to watch James Madison go out to Oregon, which they're 20.5-point underdog?
Well,
and
if you want chaos, though, we'd love to see a chance, even if they don't. Just a game that's so competitive.
Well, it would be nice if you get a competitive game.
Yeah, that's good.
I would rather see Notre Dame play, because that would be a game worth watching, because I think Notre Dame could beat them. I think it would be a good game.
Right.
If they put Notre Dame out, or even if they wanted to switch it up and have Notre Dame play Ole Miss, which they should have done. They should have put, because you don't want another rematch of Tulane and Ole Miss. You already had that game, 45-10 Ole Miss. What they should have done is at least stuck Tulane, let them go out to Oregon, but have Notre Dame play Ole Miss today at 3:30.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been.
It just would have been a lot better if they stuck Notre Dame in and take it out either James Madison or Tulane. Not put both James Madison and Tulane in like we talked about last week.
The only reason I said Tulane, because I think they won a conference. So if they're going with that conference winner, go ahead and put them in. But if it's an at-large bid left out there, I'm going to take Notre Dame before I take James
think
Madison.
That the way they did it, Madison won their conference. But what they did is, like we talked about it last week, Miami should have played Virginia. And
that's what they could have did. Then
the winner would have got that James Madison spot, because that was for a conference title.
Right.
What they did is they because of their stupid tiebreaker, the ACC had a 5-loss Duke team playing Virginia, and they beat Virginia. Well, the committee's not going to put a 5-loss Duke in, so they stuck a James Madison in for that other conference spot, because that would have been really an ACC conference. So they didn't put the ACC champion in the tournament. Miami didn't win their league, so they're in as an at-large. That's where everybody's like screaming and yelling to the ACC. You people screwed this thing up. You should have had Miami and Virginia play one another. Then the winner goes. Miami gets beat by Virginia. They're out. Virginia goes. But Notre Dame goes.
Yeah.
But if Miami beats Virginia, they're in. Notre Dame's in. Then you basically you can get into the argument, which one do you want to put in, Tulane or James Madison, for that last spot?
Yeah, but I don't even know if I want to put it on the conference. I think the committee, and I'm not putting it on them, but I do think they send the message. And I think they did it last year when they didn't let Alabama, when people was thinking, maybe Alabama, get out of here, you're not in it. They wasn't in it. Then I think they did the same thing to Notre Dame, just to, we're going to show you. First time, we're going to show the SEC, we're not putting all these guys, so Alabama, you're not in. This
and they
time,
put SMU in, and they go up to Penn State
and look like they were,
and they look like
shell-shocked.
They didn't want to play in that cold weather, and they didn't want to play in Happy Valley, and then they didn't show up, and we had a terrible matchup.
So then you did the same thing this time, by with Notre Dame not being in the conference. Like I said, I'm always say it. I wish they have always been in the conference. I wish they had. I always thought they just fit perfectly in the Big Ten. I just think that you talking about that conference, man, just tremendous. But when you do that, Now, in the past, you couldn't really say nothing about Notre Dame there because their schedule was always great.
It was always a good
but
schedule.
back then, you had USC was being good, Stanford. You had all these teams you played, even the Army, Navy. Both teams used to be really good. It's not like that today. So those games are not as powerfully evaluated.
Because those teams just haven't the teams they're playing just haven't lived up to their where they used to be.
Right.
Like even Syracuse was at times a good team.
Yep, that was a good matchup too all the time.
They had injuries, and they just had a really bad year.
And you know who else used to play Notre Dame good? And it wasn't that they were highly ranked, but they always gave them a great game. Was Boston College?
Yep, BC.
I don't know why they just
they always did.
Always tough. They have upset them before, all that kind of. But that just it's not there today like that. So, so unfortunately, I think they just did that to show. They already knew they did that because why would they make a promise to them for next season, and the season not even here? You already tell them they're in. Basically, next year, the conversation about Notre Dame being in the playoffs next year.
Yeah, they already have that thing written up.
Yeah, so come on, man. Why are you gonna do that before? Then you could have other colleges complaining about that. That's a spot taken away that could be one of ours or something. So, it's just insane. So we just get through it and see what happens with this.
We'll
this
see
playoff.
what college games bring us tonight.
But it would be nice if these teams, Tulane and James Madison, hold themselves kind of accountable. I looked at the replay, but they showed all the best plays of the Mississippi and Tulane. They had opportunities in that game to really, but they made some mistakes.
Yeah, they blew
They blew a couple mistakes. They had some
and then
guys
the game got out of hand.
Yep, and they had some injuries in that game. And guys before that game that will be healthy this time around. So we'll see if it makes a difference. I still say Mississippi wins, but can they make it fun to watch?
The question's going to be
the point total. Huh?
Yeah, 17.5, the hook.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, that Thursday night game, which was probably the best Thursday night game.
Oh, yeah, I watched that. That thing was great.
The point spread was -1.5.
Mm-hmm.
So if you took the Rams, you won by a hook because the Rams were getting 1.5 points and they lost by 1 point. They lost.
Yeah, because when they're 38-37, I don't know.
It was
what
38-37.
Yeah.
And the difference was if Seattle doesn't get that 2-point conversion, they lose the game. They got the 2-point conversion. So they won the game, but they only won it by 1 point.
Yeah.
The spread was Seattle -1.5.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes you wonder.
If you had bet that rent or bet the house payment, whatever the heck it was.
Yeah,
you got
the penthouse now or in the outhouse.
Yeah, you're in the out. I
One
think
or
you're
two.
down in the outhouse.
Yeah. That
One and a hook.
Yep.
1.5. You think it's a pick 'em. Now that 1.5 came into play Thursday night.
That was a good game.
That was probably one of the best Thursday night games. And we've been lucky this year. We've had some really good Thursday night games to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been really good games.
Yeah, a lot better than it had in the past.
Previous.
Yeah.
And
remember
that game,
that first year or second year?
Yeah.
That was the worst thing
They
you
had
could
really,
ever see.
yeah. When they first started Thursday night football,
they were
the
bad.
games were not the greatest games. But as they've, as now they're starting to play, and maybe they've gotten, coaches have figured out how to prepare for the game better because it's a short week.
Yeah.
But the games have been increasingly more like this year. They had really good competitive games. The one that Tampa Bay lost last week, was it? Yeah, to Atlanta. That was really a good game. Tampa Bay was up, and is that the one? Yeah, that was the one I think Tampa Bay lost. Yeah, Falcons. They got beat 29-28. Last Thursday night game, yeah, Falcons beat them 29-28. Tampa Bay was up, 28-14.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns with 9 minutes left, and they managed to blow that game. And now we'll get to that situation down in with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have Carolina.
Yeah, and Carolina had a chance to have sole possession.
And they lost.
And the Saints took
to the
care
Saints
of
beat them. And the Saints look like they found their quarterback.
Yeah, he just kept. He's been improving
every week.
He's getting better and better and better. So, he fits their pro now. Build around him. Get that team to
You might have found your guy.
Yeah, you might have found him. That's what you need. And then when they're on a rookie contract, it's great to find a guy like that.
Well, that's the deal too. We'll get into the rookie contracts and the whole quarterback situation in the NFL and break that down on where we think some of these quarterbacks are going to be. Get to the Tua benching, and now Quinn Ewers is going to be their starter down in Miami, the 7th-round pick out of Texas. He will be the starter for Miami Dolphins, who lost Monday night game. They lost to the Steelers. And looking at the Steelers, because that opens up the door. It's them and the Ravens, obviously. Big games this week. Steelers are at the Detroit Lions. And we'll see if they could potentially.
They got to win, but so do Detroit. So that's going to be like a mini playoff.
That's and
that's on the line.
That's really a mini. You're right. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And when you look at the other games, the Sunday night game is big because it's the Patriots at the Ravens.
And that's big because the Patriots are trying to get home field.
And Patriots are now with Buffalo creeping up on them. They're going to have to be, Buffalo now has kind of got themselves back into the picture. And with the AFC, when you break that down, that's open. And a lot of teams are saying you don't want to play the Buffalo Bills because you've got Josh Allen, and he seems to be the difference maker. And right now, the way Buffalo Bills are rolling, they may be the most dangerous team to play.
Yeah, especially offensively. Other teams you don't want to run into in the AFC is the Houston Texans.
No.
And the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Right.
Because at first I said, well, I don't know if Jackson, but now that I see they run the ball, they committed to it, and the defense is lights out.
It's lights out.
And Houston.
Houston's defense.
You got to watch out for both of those.
It's just absolutely. That's a shutdown defense, and they have just been dominating. They started out 0-3.
Yeah,
Houston, and they look. People were like, "Hey, what's wrong with this team? This is supposed to be, the contender for the title down there." And they started out 0-3, and Stroud didn't look great. The offensive line looked terrible. Stroud was struggling because, again, a poor offensive line. And all of a sudden now they righted the offensive line, but now the defense has just turned it up a whole different notch.
Yep.
And now, DeMeco Ryans, their head coach, who's a defensive guy to start, has got a lot of influence with that defensive play, and they have just lights out, shut down teams, and now they're on a roll.
Yep.
And they seem to not be, you cannot stop right now. The Houston Texans, that's a scary team.
Yeah.
Because with that kind of shutdown defense, and again, you have Stroud throwing the ball, and now, again, the offensive line is improved, and they're running the ball better.
Yep. Well, that's what I like about Jacksonville. I watched that. It makes Trevor Lawrence so much better when they can run the football, because now he's play action, and then he's running the football. And he's a dangerous.
He actually is. Trevor Lawrence
is a good athlete.
A runner. He's an athlete. He's got those long legs. He strides.
Yep.
And he gets out. He can run. Like, he gets out in the open and takes off.
Yep. So, I mean, those are some teams got to be aware of. And a great move by Jacksonville, actually picking up Jacoby Myers from the Raiders in that trade. That guy, he got a new contract. Matter of fact, yesterday.
They signed Jacoby.
Yeah, they signed him 3 years, $60 million.
Well, Jacoby Myers is a good player.
Yeah, no. He was playing good for it, and they just wasn't able to work on the money yet because of how their contracts is there. They got to wait until after the season. And that's the reason he got traded. One of the reasons he said he just want to be traded, because he wants to find that security now.
Right.
Jacksonville had the money, but he needed to prove what he could do. Well, since he's been there, he's been catching big-time plays all the time, touchdowns, everything. So, fitted in perfect and got his new contract. So, he'll be with Jacksonville now.
You gotta look at. You're right. You look at these teams that are out there in the AFC now that the Chiefs have been eliminated, and sadly Mahomes had that ACL injury. He's already starting his rehab. He had the operation, and he's already started his rehab. So,
that guy's
Mahomes
will work. He'll come back.
He will be back.
Be better.
I will go out on a limb and say I won't be surprised if Patrick Mahomes is back opening day.
Yeah.
I know that's about 10 months, but I won't be shocked if he's back.
No, he's not.
Start of the season. I mean, usually the ACL can be a year or 9 months or 10 months, depending on the tear and the severity. But knowing what you know about Patrick Mahomes,
hard work.
I could see him back. And Kansas City is going to have to make some, they're going to have some changes made. Maybe they make some drafts, get some wide receivers that catch the ball. But, they're going to have to. And now I think Travis Kelce's finished. He will probably retire at the end of this year. He might want to come back for one more year, but I think he's done.
Yeah, I don't know if he feels like he don't want to end like that, so he may come back. I mean, he could be just like I forgot who was one of the McCourty twins. I think that was Devin.
Right.
But he said he didn't think he'd be finished. He's the type of guy he could still play and produce, but you can't have him in there. If you got 60 offensive plays, you got him there for 55. You can't do that. Play him 40, play him 35, and he'd be in certain situations. He'd be a guy that can still.
He always seems to get open.
Oh yeah, he's going to get open.
Always knows how to.
He knows how to get open, and he's not going to be dry. It's just a situation that happened, and you get it like that. It looked like a guy's finished. How many people talked about? I never thought he was, but I heard people say Matthew Stafford is done. This might have been 3 years ago. Oh, he's done. He's not. Yeah, is he? he don't look done to me, and he's just. I mean, and now he's probably inspired to play more, a few more seasons when you got Nakua, and you got Devontae Adams there catching like that, and you just got an offense. The running backs is good, man. That make you stay a couple more years. He's getting great protection. I mean, he gets hit, yes, but their offensive line is pretty good, though.
Their line is good.
Yep.
They're, again, we'll look at those playoffs picture, too, coming up.
Yeah.
First quarter's in the books already. Barely got started, Dave Clark. So much more to get to. It's a Saturday morning sports page. Pat Lucia, Dave Clark. Back after this on Western Reserve Radio.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for years, he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Are you ready to hit the gridiron and make your mark? The Cleveland Cobras are recruiting players and coaches for the upcoming Premier Amateur Football League season. We're looking for passion, grit, and the relentless drive to win. Whether you're a seasoned vet or hungry rookie, your shot starts now. Join a brotherhood, build a legacy, strike with the Cobras. Follow us on Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football, or for league information, visit TAFLfootball.com to get started today. Team, pride, Cobras.
This is Jerry Snodgrass, Executive Director of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. One of my long-standing goals is to help people understand that high school sports are about so much more than wins and losses. The OHSAA promotes education-based athletics, where sports are an extension of the classroom. Our schools all want to win. There's no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, it's all about sportsmanship, leadership, and making certain that academics are a priority. Thank you for your support of high school sports in Ohio.
Saturday morning sports page back. Dave Clark with me, Pat Lucia. 330-707-4202. Get in. Talk sports. We do it every Saturday morning here. And here is Western Reserve Radio. So we've got a lot to get to in the NFL. The playoffs have already, in my eyes, Dave Clark's already said this, the playoffs have really started in the NFL.
Yep. You're on their way.
I mean,
off and on.
Technically,
started with Thursday.
They're not here yet, but when you look at these games, they are.
Yeah.
Because we'll get to these games, but some of these games are playoff games. They're eliminating. You want to call it the playoff eliminating games? Okay. But they're almost really playoff games. Yeah. Like, today, tomorrow you've got some big games. Like even tonight, you've got the Packers at the Bears, 8:20 on Fox tonight. Then even today at 5 o'clock up against college football, and you know who's going to win this ratings. It'll be the NFL. It always does. Yeah. Eagles are at Washington. And I know Washington's out of it 4-10, but the Eagles need to win this game, and they can clinch the play. They'll at least clinch their division, because Dallas has still got a shot. But the Eagles need to put it to bed, sort of to speak.
Yeah, they have to.
I mean, they need to go out now. They came. You were at the game last week. 31-0. Dave Clark. Was it? I had that on YouTube. I have the YouTube package. So I was flipping around and I watched some of that game and was, it was never in doubt.
Never in doubt. Never in doubt.
From the kickoff on.
Yeah, I mean, it's just when I watch that, to be able to see that now, being there to see it.
Yes.
Like we say, teams mail it in. I don't like to really say that because it's hard to get a team to mail in. You might get players, you do.
Yeah, you get some players that just
say, just going through the motion.
Right.
But it seemed like they go through the motion.
Raiders.
Yeah, they get that first they were playing, and then it's like, I'm frustrated with this. Look at this Kenny Pickett. What is he doing? I mean, they're not getting any play from the quarterback position.
None.
And they know that is king in football.
Yeah,
you got to have you need a quarterback to be efficient. You ain't got to be the greatest, but to be efficient. And if they're not, you feel like you got no shot. No. That's how you feel. You feel you ain't got any shot of winning. And when that happens week after week, the morale goes down. And Philly just dominated that. And Philly fans is crazy because I went there. I seen a lot of people I didn't know.
Yeah,
which was great. But one of the guys was there. One that was feeling that said, "Get out of here with that sweater you got."
You had your Raider.
I had my Raider
Eagle.
Eagle in the front, Raiders on the back. The little hat with I got my Raider and my Philly hat on. Both hats on. I'm just acting crazy. The guy said, "Get out of this stadium."
Oh, yeah.
A couple guys kept saying, "Get out of this stadium." But I was there with a couple guys that was in my fraternity, and then one of them was James Big Cat Williams. And the guys, if they really know about him, he used to play for the Bears.
Right.
He's from Cheney State. He was an offensive lineman. He was a defensive lineman when he was in college.
Right.
He's an offensive lineman for the Bears.
Right.
And he made All-Pro. And he's bigger than he was back then.
Oh, my gosh.
And then he said, "Hey, don't be talking to my guy like that." The guy's just quiet down.
Yeah, go right there.
But, man, those Philly fans are crazy.
Philly fans.
No, they insane.
No, they're insane.
You're winning. I heard guys having a fit.
Right.
Because somebody missed the play. I think Hurst threw an out pattern, and it was out too far. Yeah. They were up like, I forgot what it was. It might have been 17.
Yeah,
it was just domination.
Yeah.
And he was having a fit.
And they're yelling
them guys, they nuts. They seriously.
Yeah.
They are nuts. It's best for me to watch at home.
Yeah, it is.
A Philly game, I better watch it at home because these guys are crazy.
Nuts.
Unless you want some entertainment.
You can
go there and watch it and just listen to these guys go off. They're going. Man, they act like they play too. They act like they're playing.
I know.
Like, hey, I can get in there. I'll make the play.
No,
these guys.
Philadelphia fans, those football fans are they're on a level to themselves.
Yeah,
they're just in a whole different planet, man.
Yep.
And they just, like you said, they
And
could be winning, and they're yelling and screaming and booing.
Yeah, well, you know what? I understand now. I done been to some games, Pittsburgh and Cleveland, and all that. But I'm gonna tell you, if you see a Philly Giants game, Philly, it's something about that division.
Yeah, the division is just
Something about them. Those fans for all those teams. Something they're a little touched.
Oh yeah, they get
Giants fans. I've been to a game with Giants fans.
No, they get wound up. Yeah, they're.
Oh man,
Yep.
I went to a Giants Redskins just for a few years. Just a few years back.
yeah.
Oh my God,
They're nuts.
They're nuts.
No,
I said
when they're playing it within the division.
Oh, let's just forget it.
Those fans are just
high for cover.
Like
you better get somewhere safe.
When Mike Golick did the show, Greeny and Golick, the Mike and Mike show, he used to say, he goes, those night games in Philadelphia they are on another whole different level. He goes, those fans are riled up. He goes, you got to understand those people are out in the parking lot 9 o'clock. That was when they could tailgate, and they would open up those tailgates at 9 in the morning for like a 7 or 7:30, 8 o'clock game at night, because those people were out there all day.
Yep.
He goes, they come into that stadium, and they are just.
They don't even know they're in the stadium.
No, they're unhinged. He goes, they are just unhinged. They are screaming. And well, I always get amazed when they play when the Eagles play either the Raiders or the Rams in L.A. or even the Chargers.
Yeah.
How loud that those stadiums are, Vegas and the Los Angeles Stadium, SoFi, how loud it's so Eagle fans are so loud, and they've taken over the stadium, and it's like a home game.
Yeah.
It's like the Eagles go out there, and it's not really an away game because the fans are so loud. In fact, it's more like the team, like the Rams or the Raiders think they're playing away, and the fans are so loud they have to they have to try to, when they're doing the calls, they have to go to silent signals sometimes because they can't hear, because the Eagle fans are so loud in the opposing fan.
Yep.
They've taken over the stadium.
Yeah.
Like that time they were playing the Raiders and they looked out at the stadium, it was all green.
Yeah.
I said, how many Raider fans are here? You look at the crowd, they're all like you said, they're all yelling and screaming and going on like
nuts.
lunatics. But it's like it's a home game, and they were even saying that the problem they have. Goodell's not going to tell you that.
No.
But the problem is with the Rams and the Raiders and the Chargers, when they play, especially when they're playing like Eagles, the Steeler fans travel.
Oh, yeah.
Eagle fans are crazy. They travel, and they play some of these, teams with fans that are just, they'll get on the plane and go anywhere.
Right.
And they get the ticket, they buy the tickets out, but the whole point of it is they're away games for for the home team.
Yeah.
Because the fans, the people, they don't have a fan base. That's the reality. The fan base, the Charger fan base in LA is minimal. And they are I have more people. I listen to Mad Dog Russo. He always calls them the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah, just like I
people
like that.
call in, and everybody's referring to them as the San Diego Chargers. And the funniest part is, I've never heard anybody I never heard Mad Dog correct them. No, he doesn't even correct the caller. Like the callers call and say, the San Diego Chargers with Harbaugh. Nobody ever corrects them. Say, well, they're the L.A. Chargers, because nobody believes they are the L.A. Chargers. Yeah. That's the best part of this.
There. And the reason it's bad in Vegas is, first of all, it's in Vegas.
Right.
So most of the people that live in Vegas are not from there anyway.
No, they're not.
They're from all over the country.
Right.
And then you got people coming in daily from everywhere.
To gamble.
So you really can't get a fan base.
No.
The Raiders fan base is either in L.A. or in Oakland. That's the only places you can get it. Because that's where they was. And they got to be in what I say, South Central L.A. They need to be at the Coliseum.
Yeah,
because that's where they at. You can't have in Vegas. It don't even seem like there's anything behind them there. It's not the same.
No.
The mystique is gone. All that is gone.
They are.
And that's what I don't like. That part to me bothers me the most about the Raiders because it will never be Raider football like
never
it
be
once
the
was.
Oakland.
No, it can't.
Or it's never
never
going to be the LA.
No.
It's not LA.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be in Oakland or it's got to be in Los Angeles. And really, after they left Oakland in the rat-infested
Alameda, Oakland Alameda Coliseum.
Yeah, I mean the rats owned it more than
they had
anybody
the
else.
Possums and the rats. They had possums in the wall.
Yeah, and it was. And now people might think we making
that was
jokes.
true.
That was true
because they were doing the Oakland A baseball game.
Impossibly running in the booth.
And they were saying that the radio guys that were doing the game complained that there were possums in the wall.
Right,
they could hear them.
Yeah,
running around.
Yeah.
And they said they had possums and they had rats and they had everything in Oakland. And
they wouldn't give out no kind of space to get a new stadium. So I just wish they would have stayed in Los Angeles if they could have and stayed at the Coliseum because, I mean, the mystique is there. But in Vegas, nah, you just can't. You can't even. It's not even no black hole. None of that. None of that stuff. It's a mess.
No, it's really not. And again, when you have those games on TV and they're playing the opposing team,
you can't tell.
You really can't tell. In fact, when they're playing a team like the Steelers or the Eagles,
that's
where the really fans are like, they will get on a plane and fly out there and spend the weekend and watch the team, and they fill up that stadium.
Right. And if it's somebody like Miami playing, you still can't tell.
No, you can't
It's just
tell.
like, people off on a vacation.
Right, and then you get the casual fans are in.
It's a bowl game here.
Yep.
Let's just watch this.
And then people stop in. They don't have any allegiance to the team.
Nope.
They're just watching because they want to see a football game.
Right.
They're not in there like, making noise. And like, no, it's not like the Eagle fans.
Oh, no, you're just done when that's over. The Giants go because they travel pretty good.
Giant fans will travel too.
They will be the home team in those
teams. When they're playing those teams, the teams of Northeast or Dallas Cowboy fans.
Oh, yeah, just forget it. It's over.
You'll
get
Dallas. Yeah. To Dallas, that's nothing to go out to Vegas from Dallas. I mean, they just,
And they travel
and they travel good. So that's the whole problem with putting the team in Vegas. It just took out
it took it out.
The fan base is gone because the people from Oakland aren't coming over to Vegas to watch the team. And they're not coming up. Actually, it's closer if they're L.A. people could come up because it's only a 4-hour drive from Los Angeles to Vegas.
Right.
It's a longer drive from Oakland to Vegas, but you can make the trip from Los Angeles, but you're not getting many L.A. Raider fans coming over to watch them play.
No,
they should have left. We already talked about it, but what they should have done is definitely left the Chargers in San Diego.
Should left them.
And they should have put the Raiders in L.A., back to L.A., and at least have the Raiders and the Rams share that gazebo they call SoFi Stadium, giant gazebo.
And I guarantee if that was like that.
If it was the L.A. Raiders in there with the Rams.
They'd be at home, too.
They would be. You would have a home field because you would have it.
And the Rams
right. No, the Rams would be second class because they would be behind the Raiders because people keep forgetting that the Rams moved to Anaheim in 1980. Mm-hmm. And if you've ever been out to California, Anaheim is like in another world, is a whole different world.
So, it is.
It's like people in LA, they look at Anaheim as the suburbs and, you're out of way. So LA fans aren't driving out to Anaheim to really watch the game. They got the Anaheim Rams and they had a decent fan base. I'll be nice. But they weren't the LA Rams anymore. They were the Anaheim Rams. Yeah. So they really haven't had a team in LA. Well, before they moved from St. Louis back since 1980.
Yeah.
And they moved to St. Louis in 1995.
Right.
So they haven't been in LA forever until they just moved back somewhat recently, over 40 years.
Yes.
And they just don't, even they won the Super Bowl. The joke was when you looked at the parade, the Super Bowl parade for the LA Rams, there were hardly any people there.
Yeah, no, wasn't that something?
Yeah, they showed it. It was like, if this was Cleveland, could you imagine if the Browns won the Super Bowl?
Oh.
My God, you would have people, if it was, it'd be like, 5 degrees or 10 degrees, whatever, outside.
Yeah,
they would all be out.
Yeah.
All the Cleveland Brown fans would be out. They would be,
When the Cavaliers won, in Cleveland.
They had over 1 million people at the parade.
You couldn't even walk around.
No, you could not.
You couldn't get around.
You could not get around. It was dead. It was summer. It was hot as heck outside.
And it didn't matter.
It did not matter. They had over 1 million people go to the parade in Cleveland. They were everywhere. They were literally on top of one another, and it was 95 degrees. I remember it.
Yep. It was
and
something.
People were going there.
and if the Browns won, oh my!
If Cleveland Browns ever won a Super Bowl,
they may tear the city down. It'd be all.
I always said they burned down the city.
It'd be trash. Oh man!
Yeah, if
you're talking about building the stadium, they had to build the entire city back up.
Yeah, they would.
Man, because you talking about area that's starving for a championship. And, you know, when we look over to the side, we don't see Jim Brown walking through this door. None of these guys. Man, it'd be great if they can win. So, I mean, if they get to that level, I'm definitely rooting. Because I rooted hard, and that wasn't even my team, but I wanted them to get to the Super Bowl.
Me too.
And then watch them lose to Denver on a
2 years in a row.
Man, I mean.
Bernie Kosar.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have won. I know they would have given the Giants a better game than Denver did.
Oh yeah, that would have been a battle.
That would have been a battle.
And maybe the Giants still win.
They win, but they don't win 39-20.
But that'd have been old NFL style football. Yep. When I say that, it's just the way they used to play the game. It was just rough and tumble.
That was the '86 Giants.
Yeah, that would have been a game.
LT. Carl Banks at their peak.
And they both had great linebacker core because back then you had Clay Matthews and Chip Banks and all. Man, are you kidding me? And that front four for both teams.
Both teams. That would have been, I think, a Super Bowl classic.
Oh, yeah. And you talk about guys that would have had to soak for a week.
This is going off a little bit since we're kind of all over the board here. I watched that. It's called Raise the Flag. It's on Amazon Prime, and I was going to tell you about this. It is a documentary, a 10-part documentary on Amazon called Raise the Flags about Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You have Prime, right?
Yeah.
You should. I started watching it. I saw the first 2. It's 10 parts.
Okay.
And make a note, and you'll love it. It starts Tampa Bay back when they first came into the league, and Culver House.
Oh man, I can see that. I like that John McKay.
You got to the Selman brothers, how they drafted, and I think one of the things that really was unbelievable. I've seen 2 of the 10. I'm just taking I'm not doing the power watch of watching 5 at a time. I'm doing it like one a night, an hour, another hour, and then I'll, just creep because I really want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
But they've got, when they drafted the Selman, Leroy, and then Dewey.
Yeah.
And they didn't think that Dewey was going to be there, but he was. And I thought it was just fascinating how they built the team. They went 0-14 their first year. No team had ever done 0-14, but they were the first team to go 0-14. Then they went, I believe they went 2-12 their second year in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And then the best part was Doug Williams. All this controversy about drafting a black quarterback, Doug Williams.
Mm-hmm.
They had the number overall pick in the draft, Tampa Bay did, and they traded it to Houston. Because they got Giles, the tight end.
Yeah,
and he was in the piece. Yeah. And then they got Houston's draft, and they drafted Doug Williams in the 78 draft. He went 17th in the first round. They knew that they could trade the pick and still get Doug Williams. That's who they wanted because they knew that he was a black quarterback and no team would draft a black quarterback. And we talked about it last week. That was also the same year, 1978. Warren Moon came out of Washington undrafted.
Yeah.
He did not draft Warren Moon. One of the greatest quarterbacks.
One of the greatest footballs I ever
seen
thrown.
Best. I think he still had the best looking pass like a dart. And I still marvel that Warren did not get drafted because he did not want to play defensive back.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm not going to be a D back. I'm not being a corner. I'm not going to be a running back. I'm a quarterback. And they would not draft Warren Moon. So he goes up to Canada and wins 4 Grey Cups in a row.
Yeah, with Edmonton, I think.
Edmonton.
Eskimo.
And then they ultimately said, well, I guess we need him. Yeah, you think he had to go up to Canada, and I'm getting off the rail, but he had to go up to Canada to prove himself that he could play NFL football. This year, in this day and age, he would have probably been the number 1 pick. In fact, I would go out on a limb. If Doug Williams, Warren Moon if this was 1978 in 2025 or 2026, Warren Moon and Doug Williams would be top 5 picks.
Oh, yeah.
They would never make it out. They would be top 5. They might be 1 and 2.
Because that always surprised me. I said, I watched this guy in the Rose Bowl. I didn't see him during the season. I said, now it's a big game. It's the Rose Bowl.
Yep.
And to see how he was just carving up, I said, this
that
guy
was
is
Michigan.
Going. Yeah,
he just absolutely destroyed Michigan.
And then he doesn't even get drafted.
No,
not even a sniff.
Nope. Warren Moon never got drafted. Getting back to Doug Williams in Tampa Bay, this is even like worse. Tampa Bay, Hugh Culverhouse. To me, this blew my mind. 1982, Doug Williams' contract. Doug Williams was one of the lowest paid quarterbacks in the league. And he's on there talking about it. He wanted $600,000, and they would not give him $600,000. He sat out the 83 season. Then he signed with your league, the USFL.
Absolutely.
And they were saying, it's in there, Doug Williams wants $600,000. Hugh Culverhouse would not give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
So then the team went right down in the toilet. They had no quarterback. And I'm going to look up their seat. When they let Doug Williams go, and they were winning. They were actually Doug Williams. They were winning every year with Doug Williams. Once he was really playing well, and they were a winning team. He let Doug Williams go because he didn't want to pay him $600,000, which still back in 1982, 83 was not a lot of money, not for their quarterback.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't give it to him.
Right.
So he sits out. Then they don't have a quarterback, and the team can't win. I want to look up their records, but then the records go absolutely in the toilet. For 4 or 5 years, they had no quarterback.
Right.
And I just sitting there, I'm yelling at the TV. Mm-hmm. How the hell do you not give this guy $600,000? He's your quarterback.
Right.
And now I see what these guys get now. And then the team turned. I mean, the team did a 180. They went down crapped. They totally did a U-turn and crashed because you didn't pay your quarterback who wanted $600,000.
The whole organization went bad because even though they got Steve Young later.
Oh, he was on there too. Yeah.
And he was not good because they're trying to play him like they had Doug Williams. They're 2 different type quarterbacks. And once he went to San Fran, you see what happened to him. But
he did say this to Culverhouse. That came up is in the piece. I don't want to ruin it for you, but I want to tell you this. Steve Young thanked Culverhouse because Culverhouse was going to trade him to the Cardinals. And Steve Young called them up and said, look, I know you're going to trade me because they drafted Testaverde to replace Young.
Yeah.
He goes, don't trade me to the Cardinals. I'll never win. Trade me to the 49ers because he wanted, and he goes, okay. So he traded him to the 49ers, Bill Walsh. And he said, Young said, you Culverhouse is the reason why I'm a Super Bowl champ because he traded me to the 49ers and got me in with Bill Walsh. Mm-hmm. And then I got with Bill Walsh and my mind was totally blown how Bill Walsh is a genius.
Yeah.
When it getting a offensive scheme and the whole, how he did everything. He said Bill Walsh was a total genius when it was breaking it down. He said, I never had that experience in my life playing with a guy like that, a coach like that just knew everything.
Yep.
But he said he thanked Culverhouse for trading him to the 49ers and not the Cardinals, because he called Culverhouse. I will never, if you trade me to the Cardinals, my career's going to be basically, he didn't say my career's over, but he goes, I'll never win, which we watched the Cardinals, his career would have been like, he would have been hurt, out, injured, out of the league in 4 years, be done.
Yeah, I mean, especially then, because I tell you, the Cardinals, their best seasons back in the day was Jim Hart.
Yep.
And Terry Metcalf in the backfield,
and
Conrad Dobler and Dan Deerdorf on the line. That was a very good team.
Mel Gray. Who was the other running back? Was it MacArthur?
MacArthur Lane.
MacArthur Lane and Jim Otis.
And Jim Otis.
And they had Jim Hart. And they lost. Yeah, that was the year they got to the playoffs, but lost. But they had Otis and MacArthur Lane. They would run the ball. And Metcalf, they would just. They would bang the line.
Yeah.
And, Hart just threw the ball now and then, but they had those two backs that were just beating people.
And then when they need to go deep, they go to Mel Gray because you couldn't
cover
Gray.
Him. Nobody could cover him.
So, I mean, that's the type
that
team.
That
was the best team
that
they
was
had
their
back
best
then.
team.
Yep. I used to enjoy watching them. Eric Coryell.
Yeah, Eric Coryell then.
He was coaching them. He was letting them let that ball go, but they would run. They was an all-around
They
offense.
were running.
They would run, pass. They did everything. But that, as an organization, has always had issues, always seemed to come up short. It was great to see them, which I thought they was almost was going to win that Super Bowl against the Steelers, and then they lose that one. So it's just been a tough avenue for the St. Louis, Arizona Cardinals, also Phoenix Cardinals. People might not remember that they was once called the Phoenix Cardinals.
Yeah, they were.
I don't know, maybe a couple years they had that label.
Timeout.
Here it is.
Hour in the book. 2 more hours to get to. We can look at the college games and do our picks. See if Irish Mike is going to call in.
Yep.
Saturday Morning Sports page, Pat Lucia, Dave Clark. Back after this on Western Reserve Radio.
Youngstown, Warren, and Salem's local and national sports talk can be found on TuneIn and the Live 365 app at Western Reserve Radio. WRDB, The Scourge.
If I could be you.
And you could be me? For just 1 hour.
If you could find a way
to get inside each other's mind.
Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out. And for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Village Tavern's been a beloved local landmark in Hubbard, Ohio for nearly a century, and now it's better than ever. Recently renovated and still serving up the same warm hospitality, the Village Tavern is your go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and a laid-back atmosphere. Whether you're stopping in for dinner, catching up with friends, or just looking to relax, you'll enjoy a full menu of American favorites, rotating drink specials, and friendly service that makes every visit memorable. Be sure to visit the Village Tavern at 746 North Main Street in Hubbard, right next to Repair That Glass. To learn more, go to villagetavern3.com. Are you ready to join the legacy? This is your chance to become part of something special with the Youngstown Patricians. Honoring the proud football tradition of the Valley, we're on the lookout for talented post-high school athletes who want to make their mark on the field. Whether you're a seasoned high school athlete, college, or former professional player, develop your skills and become part of a team that values hard work, dedication, and community spirit. Don't wait. Begin your path to the gridiron by visiting youngstownpat.com or contacting us on Facebook at the Youngstown Patricians. Be bold, be legendary, join the Youngstown Patricians today.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Ohio. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Saturday Morning Sports Page back. Pat Lucia, Dave Clark. 330-707-4202. Get in, talk sports. Do it every Saturday morning here. Dave Clark's laughing.
Yeah.
Out of control.
Well, something popped up in my mind, but I have to tell you in the next break.
Okay.
It was this our guy, Kevin. He popped in my head of something about him, but I'll wait.
Okay.
Next break.
Yeah, the Bizarro. No, that wasn't the Bizarro Kevin. Or that was the Bizarro, because he was the Bizarro Kevin.
Yeah.
We had a Kevin that called in.
Yeah, I like it with the deep
he
voice,
was good,
Kevin.
That deep voice, had that soft, deep voice he would call in. And then we had Kevin doing the show.
Yeah, that Kevin. That's the Kevin.
And that was the Chicago. We called him the Bizarro Kevin. So we had the different. He liked it. He thought that was he thought that was good. He goes, "Yeah, I am the Bizarro Kevin."
Yeah,
the Bizarro Kevin.
I used to like it. He used to flip that coin.
Yeah, when we did the picks, he would flip the coin,
and he did good.
He did good with that. We haven't done well, Dave Clark. We were last week. Since we're talking. You were 5-11. I was 4-12.
I always stink.
I don't know why the hell I took the Miami Dolphins on Monday night. I should have been shot. But then, the Seahawks didn't come near to cover. We both took the Lions at the Rams. I should have known better. You took the Broncos. I took the Packers. That was my mistake. I had the Panthers and changed it to the Saints. Well, that was my mistake. I lost that.
You won that. No, you had the Saints.
I had the Panthers, but I changed it to the Saints, and the Panthers won.
No, the Saints beat the Panthers.
I mean, I'm sorry, the other way.
Wait, the other way.
You had
the Saints at first,
I had
right?
the Panthers, and I had the Saints. I changed it to the Panthers.
I remember you debating.
Yeah, I was debating it, and I was going to say Saints, and they can't win, and they won.
Yeah.
Not only did Saints,
but they've been competing.
The Panthers were favored.
Yep.
And the Saints now. We're getting 2.5 points. Panthers are 2.5 point favorite coming off a bye, and they got beat 20-17. And we kept saying, well, the Panthers know they got to win this game because Tampa Bay lost Thursday night last week.
And that's really the reason.
And you figured that was the motivation for the Panthers to go down to New Orleans and win.
And we even when we was talking about it, I said, that's a place that's hard to win sometime in New Orleans. I said, but the Panthers, this is their chance now.
This is their chance.
Saints took care of them.
Right.
And they do be competing now. The Saints is
no,
not
the
a
Saints
team.
have gotten
you can't just
better.
Walk in there.
No, you can't.
They're going to compete with you.
They started. They're 4-10. They might be one of the better 4-10 teams to play.
They're gonna give you their best shot.
And they're going to give you your shot.
Yeah.
And the Panthers had the chance to wrap up the division, take advantage of Tampa Bay, who's trying to give everything away. Now, Ira Kaufman was on. He's also in the Tampa Bay piece. That when you get a chance, you got time, flip that Raise the Flags. You'll love it.
Okay.
It's right up your alley because you're going to talk about the Selman brothers are on it, both Leroy and Dewey.
I still remember that.
And those guys are just, both of them were great players. Leroy especially was just a hit. Then they hit hard. I mean, that was a tough team. But then they have Doug Williams on. And I did not know this, but when Doug Williams was going through his contract holdout in 82, after 82, his wife died.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And he had like a little baby girl. I think his daughter was like a year old or something. It was tragic.
Yeah.
And he was dealing, he goes in the piece, he's going, I was dealing with the sudden death of my wife. And I think she either had a stroke or heart attack, something, and sudden. And then he's trying to raise his infant daughter. Mm-hmm. And then he's going through a contract holdout because Culverhouse wouldn't give him the $600,000 that he deserved.
Yeah. That he deserved, and then you would think the owner, this whole situation, let's just get this guy this cash.
And then like I wanted to, I know the problem we have on this show, I'm a little ADD because we flip around a lot. It's all my fault because I love to do that. But I'll get back to the Tampa Bay real quick. Tampa Bay, like after they got rid of Doug Williams, they went 5-4 the strike season in 82. 83, after they let Doug Williams sitting out, they went 2-14. Even before that, in 1981, Tampa Bay was 9-7 with Doug Williams, and John McKay was the quarterback, a coach. And then now they had a bad year in 1980. They were 5-10-1, but in 79, Doug Williams got them to the conference final. They were 10-6. But in that conference game, he got that injury where I think he tore the bicep.
Yeah.
They lost 9-0 to the Rams, who went on to lose the Super Bowl. But Doug Williams got hurt in that game.
Yep.
And even when Doug Williams came into the league, his first year they were 5-11, his rookie year. But then he went to 10-6. 5-10-1, but then he was 9-7, and they lost the division. And then he lost the wild card in 1982. Then they wouldn't give him the money, and then in 1983 they were 2-14. And then after that, in 1984 they were 6-10. This gets better for Tampa Bay with no Doug Williams. 2-14 in 85, 2-14 in 86. They were 4-11 in 87. And in 88, they were 5-11 and 5-11 in 89. You got rid of maybe one of the best quarterbacks. I'm not saying, I still think he belongs I'm not sure. Did they finally put Doug Williams in the Hall of Fame yet? Well, they have to.
I don't think they did.
But the point is, you had really your quarterback, and and maybe because I'm thinking more in this time frame, but you wouldn't give him the money. Yeah. You let your best quarterback. You had your guy was winning, and you had a guy that he didn't want. Like, it wasn't like he wanted a lot of crazy money, because he was not like. And then he found out he was like the 54th highest paid player in the league, something stupid, and he wanted more money. He was the quarterback.
Yeah.
And he said it was right in the paper. Doug Williams wants 600. All the fans were on his side.
Yeah, no.
You know how sometimes the fans get on the owner's side? No, they were all on Doug Williams' side. The fans are going, why can't he give them the money?
Yeah, they just went into a slide.
And then the team, and they called it like the Doug Williams curse.
Yeah.
You let Doug Williams go, and the team just did 180 and went into the proverbial toilet.
Yep, that's what they did.
Because you don't want to give the guy $600,000.
Which is, is that nothing today?
And that's like, today it's a drop in the bucket.
Yep.
But the whole point of it is ultimately, and then they had coaches. They had McKay retired in 84 because he had a bad heart.
Right.
And then Bennett came over, Lehman Bennett. And
from Atlanta?
He was 2-14 back-to-back, and they fired him.
Yeah.
Then Ray Perkins he went from Alabama to Tampa Bay. He went to the Giants. He left the Giants after the strike year and went down to Alabama. I remember that. And then Parcells took over for the Giants in 83. Perkins went down to Alabama, didn't do the greatest. Then he went over to Tampa Bay. But even when Ray Perkins was in Tampa Bay, his first year in 87 was 4-11. In 1988, the following year, he was 5-11. Then in 89, he was 5-11. Then it was 6-10 in 90, and they fired him. And Williamson was the interim coach. But that's what the whole, and you're going to watch this, and I got 8 more parts to go, and I probably spoiled it for you, but there's stuff you're going to really love in this Raise the Flags. It's on Amazon Prime, but you're going to like it because they talk the Selman brothers are on it, and boy, they were great players. And Giles was in it.
Yep, Jimmy Giles.
And he was saying that when Doug Williams threw the ball, he goes, it whizzed by my helmet. He goes, I never a ball with that velocity on it blew my mind.
Yeah.
He said when Doug Williams threw the ball, he goes, I think the Selman brothers were saying when he threw the ball, you could hear it whiz by your helmet. He goes, it was like a rocket.
Yeah. Oh, that guy had a strong
Doug
arm.
Williams had an absolute cannon for an arm.
Yeah.
And I think of him and Warren Moon in 1978. And I think Williams, they traded down because they knew nobody would draft him. So they got him at 17 and picked up Giles
and it was
from
only
Houston.
20-something teams back then.
Right. There was only,
It wasn't 32.
No. I believe it was 26.
Somewhere in there.
And they got to trade. Houston traded for the number 1 pick in 1978. I think they drafted
Dan Pastorini? No.
No, in 78 was Earl Campbell.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is Campbell.
I believe.
Let me see. Is Campbell's? Yeah, he's 78. He's not 79. He's 78.
Earl Campbell was 1978. I think, because I remember that. Because Earl Campbell came out with Texas, and they lost the bowl game in Notre Dame in 78. And Campbell came out, and Houston drafted him. And I got it. Yeah, I think Earl was Houston I believe in this piece. Yeah, Houston traded up to get Earl Campbell, number 1 overall. And Earl Campbell was the number 1 pick.
Okay. That changed that franchise.
And that totally and you talk a great draft. And then Doug Williams was drafted from Houston. Yeah, that was he went 17th in the draft, and Warren Moon never got drafted.
That guy, man.
Chris
Carter said.
I love it when these guys are undrafted.
Yeah, that's
they're Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
And I believe Warren Moon was a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I think so. He said that. I remember Chris Carter said the ball actually just laid. I mean, it's there like a rocket, but when it gets there, it's just so nice and just
he had
right there.
It looked Warren. I say you could make the argument he threw the best pass ever. It was like it went through the air like a rocket, but Chris Carter, it was an easy catch.
Yep, it was easy.
Like he had an easy catchable ball. That's what made Warren Moon so good. Is the ball was so easy, even though he threw it, and you saw it go through the air, but for somehow he did. The ball was the receivers could catch it. It was so because it fell into their hands perfectly, and it wasn't like too hard. It would fall in their hands. They could catch it, and he was pinpoint.
Yep. Yeah, that's unbelievable though.
But he was. I know I've said it 100 times. Now I've got. Problem is I've got that, and now I've got I saw this piece, and now I've got it in my head that they wouldn't give Doug Williams $600,000, and the team went absolutely 180 degrees in the proverbial gutter when they left. They let your best the guy that was you were winning with. They let you go.
Yeah.
For $600,000.
Yeah. He's lucky he wasn't tarred and feathered. I mean, to do something as dumb as that.
I'm surprised that the fans are just loyal and they still went to the games. But
yeah.
I would be, if I was the fans, I'd be out there like screaming and yelling, holding up signs. Hey, you got to give our man the money.
Yeah, it was a dumb decision, and they paid for it big time.
Yeah,
they paid for it.
Yeah. It's just, and you had a great team.
Yeah.
The sad part is you had a great defense. You had really a good team. Giles, the tight end. You had really a great team around him.
Yeah. Jimmy Giles.
Jimmy Giles is a beast.
Big, yeah. Oh, man, that guy was big and could catch the ball.
Right. He had the strength. He had the speed. He could get out in the open. And he could, and they had clips of him. He was unbelievable. Then you had the Selman brothers.
Yeah, defense was something.
Leroy and Dewey Selman.
Yep. Still remember the Oklahoma.
They called it. I remember they used to refer to when they were at Oklahoma. They called it Selmanizing. When they were talking about their defense, when the Selman brothers would come out and hit people.
Yeah.
They said you're gonna get Selmanized when you played Oklahoma because they hit. They were so, and they had the other guy with Oklahoma, Ron Schote.
Oh yeah,
he was a good back. He was like a deep defensive back linebacker.
Yep.
He was a mix, and he was really a great. Those Oklahoma teams were really good. Back in the 70s.
Oh yeah, wow.
But that's the part when I'm watching this. I still have this thing in my mind. I'm watching it. I'm yelling at the TV. How do you not give him that money? Oh my God.
Yep. Well, Cover House made a bad decision and paid for it.
I mean, it was terrible.
Yeah. Sure was.
Let's see. So we get catch that thing on Prime. I wanted to let you know about it because you're going to really enjoy it.
Yeah, that's.
And again, it gets into, and I got to still have part 3 to do, but they do a real nice job. And they talk a lot, like I said, Doug Williams, who is their quarterback, great player, no doubt. Let's see, we've got where to go here, Dave Clark. Let's look at some of these stories in the NFL. Then we'll look at some of the college games. But with the quarterbacks in the NFL. Since we're on quarterbacks, we'll just come up to this day and age. We were on the other too many years ago. But I guess we relate to that because that's when, we were young, we were into it.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And I was definitely, into it. And I like Tampa Bay. I really like Doug Williams a lot.
Yeah.
Even when he came out of college, came Grambling, small school, played for
Eddie Robinson.
Eddie Robinson,
Yep.
who came, again, we'll get AFL, Buck Buchanan, great players coming out of Grambling. The AFL developed. I got to get you the book. You got to read the book. I got to get you that book about the AFL, just called the Little League That Could.
Yeah, I love that.
You will enjoy that book. Getting back to this day and age with quarterbacks, and I'll get out of my time capsule and come to present day, because I do digress. But these quarterbacks now, there's this other thing, and I want to ask you this question. Being the Giant fan, there's this talk. It's been all this week. You've heard it. Should the Giants? Looks like right now the Giants have the number 1 pick in the draft.
Yep.
If they lose out, they get the number 1 pick.
Right.
Now the Giants have they have Minnesota Vikings this week at home, which I think they'll lose because I think the Vikings are a pretty good team. Then they have the Raiders and the Cowboys. Now the Raiders are playing for nothing, and the Cowboys will probably play for nothing either because they're going to be out.
Right.
So the Giants could lose out. I don't know if they'll lose to the Raiders. It's at Oakland. I mean, at Las Vegas.
So they're still at home.
Right. So that's kind of a home game for Giant. But I don't know. Nobody went to the Giant game on Sunday. When they played Washington, I saw those stands on those. I don't know if the players have quit, but I know the fans have bailed it in.
Yeah.
The fans aren't going to go sit in MetLife Stadium in the cold weather and watch that team play.
Right.
And then the Giants don't show up. They didn't even show up for Washington. I don't know. A friend of mine was trying to say, well, no, they're a young team. You can't say they didn't show up. That's like a media thing. You sound like the media. The media says that stuff. I said, no, I watched the game. I don't think the guys cared. That was my impression.
Right.
But whether or not, it's either they didn't care or they're not that good. Because Washington boat raced them pretty much, dominated them 29-21. It wasn't that close.
Right.
This is my question. Jackson Dart, all the week. Should the Giants trade Jackson Dart and take Fernando Mendoza out of Indiana? That's the book. What do you think, Dave Clark?
Now, if Jackson Dart was a second or third rounder, maybe I'd think about it. Maybe, because he done shown flashes that he can do well in the NFL. So I don't know if I would do it. But with him being a first round, why would you do that and start over again?
Right.
I mean, he's a young guy, just like Mendoza. To get there, you would hope for him to have a great season wherever he goes. But a lot of times for rookie quarterbacks, it's a learning curve. You know, everybody's not Dan Marino in their rookie year.
No.
You don't get that too often anytime. So it's a learning situation. No, I would stay with Dart. He done shown the energy that can really get the city going. So no, I wouldn't do that. I would build around him. I would build around get the things I need. The offensive line, those are the things I would be doing.
Let me throw this to you. Some people believe that Jackson Dart is 1 or 2 concussions away from being Tua. Because the way he plays, that he has that, running back mentality I'm not a fan of. And I just think that if he doesn't break the habit, he's going to end up in the blue 10 again, concussion protocol again. You got 3 games left that mean nothing. They're going to play him, but I won't be overly shocked or surprised if he has another concussion way he plays.
Yeah.
So my question, and that's where this will be interesting, if Jackson Dart suffers another concussion, I think they should bench him for the rest of the season and not play him.
Yeah, you have to.
You would have to.
And then you might have to think about what you just asked me then.
Then what's going to happen is now you change your thought process of the 2026 draft coming up. Is if you think Dart has another concussion, now how many does that give him this year? And then you're thinking, well, wait a minute, maybe we need to reevaluate quarterback, because if we get into next season and Dart has another concussion or two, is his career potentially going to be over or close to? Now he's Tua.
Yeah.
Now you're just basically waiting for him to be out of the league due to concussions, and then you won't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
And now you're going to be looking like, if you do lose out, you will have the number one pick, and Mendoza will obviously be there. You'll pick anybody you want.
Right.
Or to your point, do you trade the pick if you're number one and pick up volume and then build your team? The Giants need a lot of help, because I'm still not a big fan of Shane, and he's going to stay your GM, and I'll have to give him another year or two, because he's staying, to see if he can build the team back.
Right.
But I don't think he's done a very good job in 4 years. That's just my take. I mean, they won the first year with Gettleman's players, but now that we're using Shane's players, I was the Giants. I'm looking at their draft. If you stick with Dart, do you go after defensive Caleb Downs, or do you go after Reese out of Ohio State, who's the linebacker, DN kind of? He's like a multi-purpose, one of the best players defensively.
Cleveland Glenville.
Yeah.
That's where he's from.
He went to Glenville.
That's right.
Cleveland Glenville.
Yep.
Do you take him if you're a Giant? Because then you could put him in the D end. We got Abdul Carter, and then you got Reese in there. He could play a linebacker, which they need help.
Yep. Because you got Burns. Don't forget
you
about
got Burns too.
That's the guy.
So you've got Burns, and Carter seems to be playing better. So it seems that if you take Reese now, you've got Thibodeau, who's pretty solid too. So you've got a lot of different looks, and then you could drop Reese back in linebacker because he's so multi-dimensional.
Yeah.
So do you do that, or you could take a Caleb Downs because their pass coverage isn't any good? So do you go after a Caleb Downs if you're Giants, or maybe if you could work out a trade? I don't know if you could get both Reese and Downs. I wish you could, but do you do that and you don't draft Mendoza, or again you're sitting if Dart gets another concussion? Now, is he going to be your quarterback of the future?
Yeah. Well, I think that's what they got to evaluate. If he gets another one, you might have to start thinking about it. Because Mendoza reminds me of a better athlete, Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
The way he just analyzes.
Yeah, he moves. He makes the plays.
And he does stuff right at the line of scrimmage, stuff like that. Real smart. He was like that at Cal, too. I mean, he was like that. You could see it. He just got more talent around him.
Yeah,
there at Indiana.
Yeah, he's got a lot more talent in Indiana.
His receivers, you can go to everybody. He has some guys out there in Cali, but not the same what he has at Indiana. So he got a good offensive line, good receivers, backs are good. So, that he could be an asset, and he'd be great in New York. But if Dart can stay healthy, then I think you just stick with that and build others. Could they get Caleb Downs? Could be. That could be the guy that you got rid of in McKinney, who's in Green Bay now.
Oh my gosh,
Xavier McKinney. That should have never happened. You talking about a Pro Bowl guy there? I mean, hits, intercept. He did everything.
This is what drives me crazy with Shane. He's your GM. How do you get rid of McKinney?
Yeah, you can't let him walk.
And you got rid of Barkley. You shouldn't have let him walk.
Yeah, he should.
They screwed that whole thing up with. See, this is what bothers me. They want to keep Shane as the GM. I don't like his track record. What are the two games last year or this year? You didn't have a kicker. Remember they didn't have a kicker last year against Washington? They lost because they couldn't kick anything. They couldn't kick extra points and field goals. I believe they lost 21-18 last year because they could only score 3 touchdowns. They had 18 points. They couldn't do anything because they didn't have a kicker.
Yeah.
And they went into they knew the kicker was injured, and I was like, this is your GM.
Well, all spotlights is going to be on him now. I mean, I don't know. Some of that decision making could have been Dabo's or giving up some, with him, but you can't.
But you're the GM.
Yes. You can't be that friendly. I mean, I know you came in together or whatever.
Yeah.
But you can't do that.
No.
Because you jeopardize yourself. So he got fortunately, he got a situation where I thought they both were going to be
I
gone.
thought they were both going to go.
But I think they think maybe David was the problem. So we'll see. But it's going to be on him this year to see what kind of talent he can bring in there. And I'm not even thinking about draft picks because that takes time to see where guys.
No,
I want to see what he's going to do with free agency. I don't know how much money they're going to have or what's their cap situation, but he's going to have to do something. He's going to have to be creative. That's one thing that Philly makes me upset, but one guy that is a steady constant is Howie Roseman. That's the reason I like him.
Well,
because this guy
win.
doesn't, and he's not scared.
No,
they're not going to trade. Nah, he'll trade somebody, and it might be a big time player. He'll trade him to get something else, and he's going to. And believe me, it's going to be something in store that's going to be pretty good, and that's what happened with him.
Well, he's the type of Roseman to me may be the best GM in football because he makes the moves. And he gets a lot of criticism. And the fans in Philly, some fans hate him. And at the end of the day, they're just, he doesn't care because he's making the moves. And he makes all the moves and the right ones.
Yeah.
He gets the players. He builds those teams. He's really low key, but he makes some great moves. But I hear some of the fans call in, the Mad Dog Russo show complaining about him. And I'm like, what are you people wrong? What's wrong with you people? Yeah. I'm a Giant fan. I'd take him tomorrow.
Yeah,
because I think he's one of the best GMs.
They used to complain about Carl Peterson, who was another guy, that was good, and then he went to the Stars and the USFL, and then the Chiefs,
and then the Chiefs. He
built that team.
Yep.
And that, I don't know.
I don't know. Like I said, you're right.
They're just hardcore.
They're just hardcore fans.
They're just hardcore.
You got to witness it last week.
They loved Donovan McNabb until he threw an interception. They loved Randall Cunningham until he threw it.
Right. And then they
that's
start.
How they they go crazy. Brian Jaworski, charge, interception, get him out of the town.
Oh, Dave Clark. What are we gonna do? All right. Lot to get to. We still got it. We'll do our football picks, and then we'll get to college.
Yep.
See if Irish Mike's calling in. Saturday morning sports page. Back after this on Western Reserve Radio.
Are you tired of switching apps just to catch your favorite shows and live events? Say hello to the iMedia1 Network app, your one-stop destination for streaming and everything that matters. From national sports to exclusive local content, Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast are now all in one place, anytime, anywhere. Download the free iMedia1 Network app on iOS and Android and unlock the future of sports audio in the palm of your hand. The iMedia1 Network, your sports app in the Valley.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Lena's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard, or call 234-254-8532.
If you want to stay on top of your health, one simple thing to do
is take the pledge to go and get screened for the cancers that might affect you.
So stand up, cancer, and take the pledge at GetScreenedNow.org.
It only takes a minute to take care of yourself, and nothing rhymes with org.
Talk to your doctor about your health and screenings that are right for you.
Saturday morning sports page back. Pat Lucia, Dave Clark. 330-707-4202, Dave Clark. I know we usually do our picks, NFL picks, at the end of the hour. We do it next hour. Let's kind of do them now because we got a lot to talk about as we're doing the picks with these teams. And then we look at the NFL. The playoff picture, in the NFL is just mind-boggling. That loss that the Rams had opened up the door a little bit to other teams now potentially getting in. It's going to be great. This is the playoffs.
Yeah,
we'll make the argument right now that this week, week 16, there are playoff, we could call them either eliminator games or playoff games, but we have certain games that are pretty much, now I know there's some games that mean nothing, but then there's other games that have a lot of playoff implications to them. Let's start now out of the gate today at 5 o'clock on Saturday. Dave Clark, we will have 3:30 is the Tulane game, an Ole Miss. That starts at 3:30. 5 o'clock is the Eagles at Washington. Now, I'll be a wise person and say that game could be over at 5 o'clock, the college game. So you could watch the Eagles in Washington because Ole Miss will have
Yeah, I'm just wondering, you have a continuity with your play caller and your quarterback, your whole offense, and that's something that Lane Kiffin brung to the table. With him gone,
could it be right?
Throw stuff off a little bit.
Now the offensive coordinator's staying.
Yeah, he's still there.
So he's still there.
But Lane Kiffin has so much input on that offense.
Right.
Of what
is
they
that
do.
going to make a difference?
That could make a difference because it can. But if they can stay how they've been during the season, Mississippi, I don't think Lane they'll wear them out. They'll wear them out. They might be good early, but they'll wear them out.
Well, I think that's what happened. Yeah.
And then, so, you just go right to the Eagles.
Go watch the Eagles.
And you know what? I don't even care if it's a close game. It's the NFL.
Yeah, it don't matter.
It just that's why they put Miami and Texas A&M on a noon because they're not competing with any of that.
They don't want to compete.
And that's the better, well, matchup-wise, it looks like it's the best game. It might not be, but it looks like that. So, but NFL is just king. It just is. It just is. I don't care who's playing. It doesn't matter. NFL is just king.
And that's what's going to happen. And tonight we'll get to Packers at Bears. That's going to be at 8:20.
And that sounds like it hurts.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's at 8:20, so it should be a nice spanking 18 degrees with wind off of.
Coming off the lake.
Oh my!
Because Chicago, basically, let's call it.
It's be so cold.
Chicago is one of the coldest cities
ever.
Big
Man,
city.
I've been there before.
Yeah.
I've been there so many times. That is.
Believe me, the windy city. It's flat up on that lake, and
it
it's
is cold. I've been there in the wintertime, and that is. Man, is that something? I don't even know how you even run around. Especially today. When I was younger, I used to love playing in cold weather stuff. I couldn't stand. There's no way I go and watch a game in Chicago.
Let's see. We've got the Eagles at Washington today at 5 o'clock. And it's 39 degrees in Washington, so it's kind of balmy. Mm-hmm. And actually, Chicago it's actually going to be 36 degrees in Chicago.
Okay. Now, is that for the temperature for the Chicago? So it'd be a lot cooler at night. Though,
at night, it's going to be. I think they said night temperature 36.
Oh, well,
now you'll have wind, but that's actually not bad.
No, not for there.
For this time of year. So the weather, and the Packers play in cold weather anyway, so it's not going to impact. But I'm just saying that it's not like it was last week in Cincinnati, 9 degrees, and they didn't show up to play against the Ravens. And we'll get to Burrow and what I saw something about a trade. A friend of mine threw a thing in. I love this stuff, where the Giants would trade Dart, the number 1 pick, and Dart to Cincinnati and players and other picks for Burrow.
Well, I mean,
but would you make the trade? And I'm like, I don't know if. And this is sad, but with Burrow being hurt all the time,
I know.
And in New York, I don't think he would be. I don't think he would do well in New York because I think he would get hurt a lot. Because I don't have a lot of faith in the line. But the line has gotten better with the Giants.
Got better, and then.
But I don't know if he was going to do well, and I don't like MetLife turf. I think there's something wrong in MetLife with that turf. They had too many injuries, too much weird things go on in that stadium, like the old Meadowlands. But that said, I don't know if that's a good trade. I don't think it's ever going to happen because I don't think the Bengals are trading Burrow.
No, I don't think they would want to.
No,
for sure.
That would be total. There may be, rioting in the streets of Cincinnati.
It's just Cincinnati is cursed by the past. And
they are.
What I mean by that, I'm talking about financially, the way they do business.
Yeah, they're just
because look all that money they paid to, who we got? Higgins, and you paid a lot to Chase and even
Higgins.
Burrow.
Yeah.
Well, okay, you paid Burrow. Okay, you got him set.
Yeah.
You didn't. You held off on Chase and Higgins.
Yeah.
And they would have took the money that you was offering before, but they didn't want to pay him.
They didn't want to pay him.
So you end up paying more, and then it messes you up so you can't pay the defensive end, Hendrickson.
Yeah,
that's what's wrong with them.
The Jerry Jones School of Negotiating.
It's just him too.
They go to that school where you don't know a good deal in front of you, so you hold back. And you end up giving them more money. It's kind of like Seinfeld with George Costanza. He went the other way. They could have got more money, but George held out and got less money. Well, here's the other way: is you're the other coin here. You could get the player for less money up front, but you hold back and you got to give him more money.
And that's why people was hollering at Dak Prescott. It wasn't his fault. He's going to take the contract before.
Same thing with Dak Prescott.
No, they're going to hold out.
And they held, and Dallas, again, they ultimately gave Dak more than he really wanted.
Yeah.
Because you could have given him a lot less if you would have taken what he wanted to play for to start. But you wait, and now you pay more and more money.
And it was so dumb. I don't know what Jerry was thinking about. He said, "What?"
But
Dak's
he did it
not
with
good?
C.D. Lamb too.
I know. He does what I mean.
And he was going to do it with Micah Parsons, but he got mad at Micah Parsons, and they traded him.
Yeah, right. I mean, you just lose money like that.
Losing money.
You should have paid Dak from the beginning. You did it. Well, take it back even further than that. Ezekiel, you did the same
thing with Elliott. You could have got him cheaper, or you probably should have traded him now in retrospect, because after he got the money, he was not ever the same player.
Right.
But the point is, you waited, and you did the same thing with Elliott, as you waited and gave him more money than if you would have got him in the beginning.
And you can't win without Dak.
No, you can't win. We've seen that
with him.
But because the backup quarterback in Dallas is non-existing. I mean, it just does not. It's a drop off.
Yeah, you can't do it.
What we should try to do is construct the worst, of all time, the worst contract negotiation deals of all time, and put them together and just say, okay, Jerry Jones with Dak Prescott, how bad that blew up, and just rattle off teams that could have got players, or let the players walk.
Yeah,
and didn't want to play them, and then they go on and have great careers, or you get used. Your team stinks now because you let your quarterback go out the door because you didn't want to pay him.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just dumb what they do. I don't understand.
Let's go to the Eagles at Washington today at 5:00. Dave Clark, I know where your TV will be, and mine will be. 7 points. Washington is getting 7 points at home. Home dog. Gessler isn't here today to bring in his dogs. We talked about that last week. No dogs. But we have a big home dog in Washington, 7 points. I don't know. It's a rival.
Yeah,
but
I usually they just Like I said, the NFCs, when they play each other, is just usually really good. Especially
And
with
Marcus
us in-
Mariota plays good.
Yeah.
He's a good backup.
That's a lot of points. I'm going to take the 7.
Okay. I'm going to go other way.
Yeah.
I'm going to take
it's
your
time
Eagles.
I know it's time for them to just dismantle somebody.
And I think I'm hoping that they woke up last week. Granted, it's the Raiders. They shut them out. But I think maybe the Eagles have got and you got to really beat Washington because this is your division. Now, the only question is that 7, that's a lot of points. Can they cover it?
Yeah.
Or could this be a push, 7 points?
Yeah,
but
true.
I like the Eagles. Now, the Washington dominated the Giants. Now, maybe I take too much away from Washington. They played good, but the Giants, to me, I don't know. I just think that they look like they fired the defensive coordinator already. You got Kafka, who's the head coach. He's not getting the head coaching job in New York.
Yeah.
They're not giving it to him. He can't win. Let's go to the next up. Tonight game, Packers at the Bears. It's almost a pick 'em. 1.5. The Packers are getting 1.5 in Chicago tonight at 8:20 on Fox Saturday night. So you go from the Eagles, sit there, don't change the channel, go in, and you got the Packers at the Bears tonight at 8:20. Big game, obviously.
Yeah.
The Bears are 10-4, Packers 10-4-1, 9-4-1. Now the Packers, you can't get a tie here because the Packers, you can't tie. There'd be no tiebreaker here because the Packers have the tie.
Yeah.
So that takes out a tiebreaker scenario. But the Bears obviously wanting to win this game and win the division. The Bears, for those out there, they play Green Bay. They at San Francisco, and they finish up with Detroit at home.
The Bears.
Yeah, they got a tough schedule because you got Green Bay, then they have San Fran at San Fran, and then they finish up with the Detroit Lions. And the last game, the Lions may be in a situation where they need that game to get in.
Yeah.
So that game, and the Bears may need it to clinch the division, so that game might mean a lot to those teams' last game of the season.
Yeah.
Because obviously we'll get to it, but the Lions have the Steelers this week. So this is a big game. It's almost a coin flip game. If you're thinking, okay, Green Bay's remaining schedule after this is Baltimore at home at Minnesota. And, Minnesota's they want to be spoiler. They just want to, want to. I don't think that's one thing I'll say with Minnesota. I could be wrong, but they're not laying down.
Right.
And Flores has got that defense playing good.
He's going to be bringing the heat.
And he's going to bring it. He's going to, the Minnesota Vikings are out of it at 6-8, but they want to ruin people's season. They do. So that game with Green Bay at the end of the season could be really big for Green Bay.
Right.
And then obviously you've got the Lions in the mix, but tonight's game is obviously really big because the Packers are thinking if we win, we take over the division.
Yeah.
Because that puts us 10-4-1 and puts the Bears out at 10-5. They're a half a game out now. And the Bears are obviously looking at this. We got to win this game tonight.
Yeah. Oh, it's big.
Because then we have a game and a half lead, but we have a tough schedule left.
Yeah, they got.
So they have to kind of win tonight because with their schedule left, they could kind of be in trouble.
Yep. I'm thinking of. I don't know if I could take them. I want to, but I'm thinking the Packers. Packers is getting the points, right?
1.5. I'm taking the Bears. I know Caleb kind of makes me nervous because he can be inconsistent, but when he's on, he's on.
Yeah, he's a lot better.
And he's getting better. He's getting more consistent as he plays. Now, no Micah Parsons for Green Bay. He's out for the year with the torn ACL, so he's out of the picture.
Yeah.
So that's one less person going to be running around that Caleb has to worry about. He doesn't have to worry about Micah Parsons running him around.
Right.
So he's got that not to worry about, but Green Bay's got a good defense, but no Micah Parsons does hurt. So I'm thinking that I'll take the Bears at home and lay the 1.5. But again, Love can be inconsistent, but he's another one. When he's on, He could look like, he's like, he gets in the zone.
Yeah.
And he can start, he looks like Johnny Unitas, man.
He
He can get on a roll, and he starts throwing and hitting these guys in space. And then all of a sudden it's like, God, this guy. But then he can also look like he can't throw the ball in the ocean.
Yeah, I know. But I'm gonna go with them. I'm gonna go.
You
with
want the Packers?
I'm gonna go with the Packers.
Okay, let's go on to the Bills are at the Browns. That's 10.5 points. The Browns get 10.5. I'm taking the Bills.
Yeah, I
know that's a lot of points.
I think the Browns going to be able to score a little bit, but the Buffalo's going to score a lot more.
I think that's what's going to happen.
So I'm going to go with them also. I'm going to take Buffalo.
It's going to be 26 degrees and
game,
sunny.
It's in Cleveland.
In Cleveland, Buffalo, that's nothing.
Right.
That's what they play. That's what Buffalo plays in. 26 degrees this time of year. Buffalo, they expect to play in 26 degrees.
Yeah.
Up there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not a reach. But
Yeah.
I'll take the Bills. That's a lot of points, but I'm just taking the Bills. I just think that Cleveland, the Browns lost last week 31-3. I watched that game. Boy, they didn't even want to play.
Yeah.
The Browns I don't know what it was. The Bears went out, and you could see the Bears needed the game, but they just dominated the game. And the Bills came back from being down and beat the Patriots with a big second half and won 35-31.
Right, yep.
And I think the Bills know they need to win because there is a shot they could win the division, but it's remote because I believe after this week the Patriots have the Ravens, but they play the Jets and they play Miami, left on the Patriots schedule.
Yeah, and they should be able to take care of
So
them.
they should win those games. But how do you feel about the Bills at the Browns?
I'm taking the Bills.
Let's move on to the San Diego Chargers, and we will refer to them. I'm not even going to say that they are the San Diego. They're still the San Diego Chargers, the LA, but we call them the San Diego Chargers. We're not saying that anymore. We're just going to go there, the San Diego Chargers.
I want them to be.
And they should be. They want to be. And on this show, they will be referred to moving forward as the San Diego Chargers. Because everybody refers to them as the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah, I would say.
And then nobody corrects them. Nobody says, oh, no, they're the LA Chargers. Everyone says, yeah, they're still San Diego.
Yeah, that's what people want them to be.
Because that's where they want to be.
Yeah.
We have the San Diego Chargers at the Cowboys. 1.5 point.
Who gets 1.5?
The Bolts. The Chargers, the San Diego Chargers are getting 1.5 points.
Now, Cowboys done lost 2 at home.
Yeah, they lost
this got to be the one they wake up.
The Bolts won last week, Kansas City.
And they need to keep winning.
16-13. They needed that win. They got
it.
They
need the next one. They got to keep winning. So.
And they're 10-4, and they're in the playoff picture.
But they haven't clinched anything, correct?
No. Right now, the way the playoff picture in the NFL, the Chargers are at 5. The Buffalo Bills are sitting at 6. And the Texans have the last spot at 7. Okay. Followed by the Indianapolis Colts, and the Ravens. 8 are the Colts, 9 are the Ravens. Kansas City is eliminated. And Miami are at 10 and 11 at 6 and 8. They're eliminated. They're out of it. So there's only 9 teams left for 7 spots in the AFC. The 2 teams that are outside looking in now are the Colts and the Ravens.
Right.
So as of today, the Texans have the 7th spot wrapped up at 9-5. Buffalo is 10-4. And the Chargers win the tiebreak over Buffalo based on the best winning percentage in conference games. So this is a big game for Buffalo because not Buffalo, but the Chargers need to win the game because they obviously need to keep in Buffalo. Because if Buffalo beats the Browns and they lose to the Cowboys, then Buffalo would slide into that 5th spot.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big game for the Bolts.
Yep. I mean.
And they're in Dallas. It's 1 o'clock.
Are they going to lose 3 in a row, though?
Yeah.
At home.
Yeah.
I mean, this is when they should have been really coming on with having those games all at home that's when they should have made their playoff push. They lost 2 big games back to back. Are they motivated to? I know Dak is going to come to play because this is the way he go about stuff. But is Pickens going to come to play, or is he going to be just walking around and sleepwalking? I don't know.
I don't know. They lost. Well, I actually lost. They were at Detroit, and they lost Minnesota.
Oh yeah, they was.
That was so.
That's right. They was.
That's right. They were at Detroit. They
I'm,
lost.
I'm gonna take the Cowboys. I'm gonna still take them just because.
And lay the 1.5.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, the Bolts get it. Yeah, I'm just gonna.
It's 1.5. The Bolts get 1.5.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it because they're at home.
All right. I'm taking the Bolts because I think they know they need to win it, and they're playing. But it's cool. I just don't trust Dallas's defense.
Yeah, I know. I agree with
and
that.
Minnesota, I got news for you. Minnesota beat them 34-26. Minnesota kind of had the way with them, and they shut Dak down, and that Cowboys down.
Yeah,
and then J.J. McCarthy again. He plays like unbelievable, and maybe he's figured it out, or he's a young quarterback. He's going to have a good game, bad.
Yeah.
So
he's getting a little consistent. This is his most consistent he's done.
But he
the last few
looked really
games.
good against Dallas.
Yeah,
and I was shocked. I didn't think he'd be that good. We both picked Dallas and lost last week. All right, the next game means nothing. The Chiefs are at the Titans. I guess it's Gardner Minshew playing. The Titans get 3 points. That's all they're getting.
I'm taking the Chiefs. Now that seems like that is definitely a trap. 3 points only makes you think take the Titans, but I'm not. I'm still going to take the Chiefs.
Yeah, me too. The Titans are just a bad team. They stink. Bengals, another game means nothing, but we'll pick it anyway. Bengals are at the Finns, 4.5 points. The Bengals did not show up last week. They got shut out at home against the Ravens 24-0, and they looked bad.
Yeah, I'm going to take them, though. They giving up 4.5?
Yeah, Finns get 4.5.
Yeah, I take them.
It's the Quinn Ewers. Yeah, that's the only problem I had. Boy, this is a tough game because Quinn Ewers is starting, but the Bengals, their defense stinks. Finns are getting 4.5.
Yep.
Could be an ugly game. Yeah, as much as I don't want to take, the Bengals bother me, but Quinn Ewers and the Dolphins,
Yeah, that's why. They got to lean on A-Chain, let him run the football, and then, maybe play action. You can't put it on the rookie quarterback.
Bengals are 4-10.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're playing for this coach's job. I think that coach could be on the hot seat. If he loses to the Finns and he loses to the backup quarterback.
He's not on the hot seat then. That thing's burning down.
Exactly.
But I'm taking the Bengals anyway.
I'll take the Bengals too. Let's go to the Jets at the Saints. Jets are getting 6.5 points. I'm taking the Saints.
Yeah, I'm taking the Saints at home, especially at home.
Yeah, at home. They're at home. I'll give the
home.
Jets 6.5. The way the Saints are playing good, the Jets stink. They got beat 48-20 last week, no game, and then the Saints beat the Panthers, a game Panthers needed to win. The Saints beat them 20-17. Let's go to the Vikings at the G-Men, and the Vikings lay 2.5, a home dog. Giants get 2.5 points.
I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants won, but I'm going to take the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm taking the Vikings. I don't think the Vikings are laying down, and I think they're going to go out and play. I know it's in MetLife. The Vikings are a dome team. JJ's played in cold weather before in Michigan. And I just think that the Giants are going to win because I've been bad mouthing them, and I told this friend of mine that he thinks the Giants can still win 2 more games. And I said I don't think they can. I think they might. Maybe they beat the Raiders. That's at the Raiders, but I could see them losing. And I keep thinking that they playing like they don't. Yeah. They want to get the Giants are in the mode to me that they want to get the season over.
Yeah.
They know there's going to be they know the coaching change. They know Kafka's not going to be the guy. They already fired defensive coordinator. They just want to get this season over. It's been a disaster of a season.
Yeah.
They just want to get it over.
Yeah. They might be in that Nick Van Exel mode.
Remember
he's the guy that was in the huddle AC Green was going to kill him when he said 1, 2, 3, Cancun. AC Green wanted to kill him.
I bet he
because,
did.
Magic had came. That's when Magic came back.
Right.
And everything. Oh, man.
Nick Van Axel's
Nick Van said 1, 2, 3, Cancun. Man, and he's supposed to be saying Lakers. Yeah, some guys, they check out.
Yeah, you're going to like that Tampa Bay. You got to watch that because there's a piece in there about Steve Young playing, and he said the guys didn't play. They were dropping the ball. He goes, I don't think these guys won't care anymore.
Yeah.
That was after the team was losing so bad. He was like, I don't think these guys care.
You just be going through the motions. It's
He
really
says,
tough.
I think these guys are.
You got to have a real good coach and organization to keep you motivated, man.
Let's go to the next one, big one. Bucks at the Panthers.
This is
Plus
for the
3.
division.
This is for the division. This is
Division
a playoff
lead.
game.
This is division league. Where's this game at?
At North Carolina, and the Buccaneers are getting Panthers get 3 points.
And it's in Carolina?
It's in Carolina. They've got, and I thought this was really strange, but they actually have the Panthers getting 3 points. Which I thought was really weird because I thought, but I'm going to look it up again, see if it changed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tampa Bay -3. So Tampa Bay's on the road, and the Panthers they're a home dog getting 3 points.
Oh. I have to think about that. I'm going to take Carolina.
And the points.
Yeah, I'm going to take them again.
Well, I'll go Buccaneers because I think Todd Bowles is going to get fired if they don't win the division.
Oh, yeah,
I think he's out, and I think they got to play for Todd Bowles' job. Ignore the music because that music is wrong. We're coming back for another hour. That's the closing music. So don't worry about that. We got overtime here because it's football season.
That's right.
Saturday Morning Sports Page back after this. Western Reserve Radio.
Your home for PAFL football is the iMedia1 Network. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Western Reserve Radio is the Valley's online source for sports talk and local live events. Tune in and be a part of their live weekly shows, as well as all of the hard-hitting action of Youngstown Phantoms hockey, high school football, and the GDFL. Find them at westernreserveradio.com. Tune in and the Live 365 app to be a part of the area's sports conversation. Be sure to visit them on Facebook at Western Reserve Radio and on Twitter at WR_radio.
Located in Applewood Estates in Boardman Township, the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club offers a pleasant family environment. Choose a membership that meets your needs and enjoy a relaxing venue that includes not only swimming for the family, but also youth activities such as competitive swimming, tennis, and more. Enjoy the friendly atmosphere all summer long with the staff and members of the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club. For more information, go to applewoodswimandtennis.com or call 330-953-2833.
Are you ready to join the legacy? This is your chance to become part of something special with the Youngstown Patricians. Honoring the proud football tradition of the Valley, we're on the lookout for talented post-high school athletes who want to make their mark on the field. Whether you're a seasoned high school athlete, college, or former professional player, develop your skills and become part of a team that values hard work, dedication, and community spirit. Don't wait. Begin your path to the gridiron by visiting youngstownpat.com or contacting us on Facebook at the Youngstown Patricians. Be bold, be legendary, join the Youngstown Patricians today.
Saturday Morning Sports Page, Pat Lucia. This is Western Reserve Radio, the home of the Hall of Famer Bob Gessler. I had to say that.
Yeah.
He's our man, but he's not here today, and he didn't bring his dogs.
Yeah.
We kept telling him we need those dogs in.
Yeah.
He's got that big.
We're nothing without him.
We're nothing without those dogs. He's got that little dog. It's a hot dog. It's the dachshund. Mocha Joe runs around, barks all the time, and then the other dog is a rowdy dog. It's like a golden lab.
Yep.
And it's just wild.
Yeah, I like it.
He's like 5 or 6 years old, and the dog's like a puppy, and just is rowdy. Comes in, jumps on you, licks you, just wants to just like fight, like play.
Yeah.
And it just is great. It's just a rowdy dog. But anyway,
with these picks, we need something.
I'll take the Buccaneers because Todd Bowles' job is at stake here.
Yes, it is.
I think if Tampa Bay doesn't win that division, I have a bad feeling that Todd Bowles is going to be out as coach.
Yeah.
I think they're going to fire him. And I think it's unfair. I think he's really he's a good coach.
Yep.
I'm a Giant fan. I would, they talk about McCarthy. I would take Todd Bowles. I'm a Giant fan. I know there's probably fans that don't like him. For some oddball reason, they just don't like Todd Bowles. But I think he's a good coach. So we'll see what happens, but I'll take Buccaneers because they need to win the game. The way they've been playing, they haven't been playing very good, though. And the Panthers, to me, are an odd team because when they have to win, they lose.
Mm-hmm.
But Todd Bowles and the Buccaneers have lost 2 in a row. They've lost to New Orleans 24-20 at home, and they lost to Atlanta at home.
Right.
Now they finish out. They lost to the Saints. They lost to now. This is going to get interesting, Dave Clark, because the remaining schedule for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers: Carolina at Miami, Carolina at home.
Oh, they play.
So they play Carolina 2
out
of the next 3 weeks, and then if you look at Carolina's schedule, because this is what you need to do this time of year. Carolina, obviously, they have Tampa, but the game they have next week, they have to play Seattle.
Ooh.
Panthers have Seattle at home next week.
Yeah.
See, they're in a tough spot because they need to win.
They got to win.
Because they're both are 7-7, but Carolina has got Seattle next week, and Seattle's got to figure we got to win the title.
We got
so
Tampa Bay, Seattle,
Tampa Bay.
And what do Tampa Bay got?
Tampa
again?
Bay's got
Carolina,
Miami.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
they're going to be playing. They play Quinn Ewers in Miami next week while Panthers play Seattle.
Yeah.
So Tampa Bay thinks we win this game next week. We got Miami. We should beat them.
Yeah.
And then
take care of business if you need to in the last one, or you might just have it.
And then actually what might happen, if you win this week and win next week, Panthers lose, you got the division.
Yep.
You don't have to worry about the last game.
You're right. Yep.
So we'll see how it plays out. The next one is both teams are probably in. Jags at the Broncos. 10-4 Jags at the Broncos.
Yeah,
Broncos won last week. Packers. The Jags blew the Jets away 48-20 because we know the Jets stink. It's just the only question in New York is who's worse, the Jets or the Giants, and I don't know. I think they both stink. I mean, both teams they're terrible. New York's got 2 of the worst football teams in the league.
Yeah,
not close.
It's bad.
Horrible.
It's not
biggest,
happy.
No.
In the home.
No.
Away from home, New York City.
New York, they stink.
Not good.
Not
up
at
there
all
right now. I don't even want to go home and visit.
No,
because I could just see.
Oh,
some of the relatives.
No, that's terrible.
I
mean,
hate it.
My
watch. Uncle hates it. He likes both teams. He likes the Jets. He's a true New Yorker.
Yeah, he likes them both.
He likes both of them. He roots for them, both of them.
Right.
He wants them to win. Both teams to win.
Right.
And they stink. And he says all the time. He calls me on Sundays.
Your uncle.
But this is all he says. Nephew. And I'll say, hey, they stink, and hang up. And And then he'll call me later on and talk to me. That's all he just, after he got to digress. He got to just say that.
He's got to get it out of his system.
Yeah, he's upset.
Long hair, man.
This is not good.
No. Jags are at the Broncos, 3.5.
That's a good one.
We need to get,
That is
Jags
good.
at the Broncos at 3. The Jags are getting 3 and a hook in Denver.
I'm going to take the hook.
Jags.
Yeah.
All right. I'm taking the Broncos. I might forget it, but.
That's a good one, though. That's a
good
game.
A
good game.
Next one is a game means nothing. The Falcons, 5-9 at the Cardinals. The Cardinals get 3 points.
Falcons 5-9.
And playing at the Cardinals 3-11. Both teams, actually, the Falcons won Thursday night. They beat the Bucs 29-28, and the Texans and the Cardinals got beat last week soundly 40-20 over the Texans blew them out. I'll take the Falcons and lay the points.
Wait, Falcons?
Yep.
Is getting how much?
They lay 3.
They lay 3.
I'll have to lay the points and take the Falcons. Cardinals get 3 points at home, a home dog. I've said that wrong. So Cardinals get 3 points.
And they're at home.
And they're home. Home dog. Gessler didn't bring his dogs in, or Gessler didn't come in. But
Cousins could have a big game again.
Right. This is a home
Pitts
dog.
Has been playing great.
Falcons look pretty good. They played good the other Thursday night. But Cousins is playing good. I mean, he's for the backup.
I'm gonna take them too. I think London will be back. Drake London
will
be back this game too. So that just adds more to the offense. And Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
If they got to get the winning, man, or this guy got to go somewhere.
Go somewhere else. He's one of the best players in the league.
Oh,
Bijan Robinson is He's a force. Let's get on to the next game on the docket. Steelers at the Lions. 7 points.
Whoa.
Steelers get 7 points on the road. 4:25 on CBS. So this will be the game you'll watch.
This one is hard because I think Detroit should win at home because they could just put on so many points. But sometimes they have problems stopping people. So
in the dome, no weather.
No weather.
Rodgers in the dome.
And he's been playing good. You know what? I'm taking Rodgers in the 7 points. Metcalf is a very angry wide receiver.
Yeah, he is, man.
Now, why did he toss these guys like they're rag dog when they're trying to tackle him?
That touchdown he scored last week
he
was
threw that defensive back like he was a rag doll.
Get out of my way.
The guy had him. He just grabbed him. Get out of here. Threw him across the field. Right. And then another guy was coming. He stiff-armed him in the chest. Get away from me. Straight into the end zone.
Yeah.
That guy is. And they said he's angry, and they don't know why he's so angry, but he is. He's playing angry. You don't want to get that.
He picked that guy up.
He picked him up. He
picked him up and threw him away.
It reminded me of Reggie White back in the day.
Oh,
Remember he said that hip toss, guys would try to block him, and he'd get up under him and just throw him.
Yep. Yeah.
Big line. He's just throwing out the way
Reggie White, Golick talked about it one time. He was saying that there was an offensive player talking trash to Reggie White, and they heard him. And Mike Golick, they were shaking his head because the guy wouldn't let up. And Golick played next to Reggie.
Yeah.
And he could just see Reggie getting like hot, he said, and Golick's thinking, this isn't going to go well.
Yeah.
And this guy would not let up on Reggie White, talking a lot of trash, bad trash. And he just basically got some point where Reggie White just picked that guy up and body slammed him down like he was a rag doll. Golick said that Reggie White was like the strongest person he ever saw play.
Yeah.
And he said Jerome Brown was in that.
Oh, yeah.
He said Jerome Brown was another guy. Yep.
Unstoppable force.
Unstoppable and sad in that auto accident. He died. Tragedy beyond belief. And Jerome Brown was an unbelievable player. But he said Reggie White was another one that he said Reggie White was a good guy. Very God-fearing, very religious, play hard. But this guy just trying to get under Reggie's skin. And Golick said, I knew what was happening. I knew was coming. And sure enough, Reggie White just had enough, and he just body slammed that guy down, man. And they were like, "Yeah, he saw that coming." Said, he said you could play Reggie White, just good player, but don't get him.
Yeah.
Don't think you're going to get in his head.
No.
That's like he goes. Golick said it's the worst mistake that guy ever made.
Yeah. Yep. There was some great days back in those days. I know I was playing college, and just to watch them practice. Oh my God.
I will take this game, Steelers at the Lions. Getting back to it, this is a tough game, but I like the Steelers because you know why? I think it's going to be close, and I think Rodgers is. I hate to say this because boy, every time I take the Steelers, they let me down.
Yeah,
and they don't show up. But I think they've turned the corner, and I think Rodgers can keep them in this game,
right,
and can make it a field goal game. Either way,
yeah. I mean, I
so
sort of
I
agree
like
with
the
that
7 points, and I'll take the Steelers because I think
Yep.
the Steelers can make it a
That's
closer.
where I'm at.
All right, the next game is the Raiders are at the Texans.
Give me the Texans.
And the Lumber, 14 and a hook.
Nah, I have no. And see, I'm
You were
being
there.
realistic. I'm watching them. They got no energy with Kenny Pickett. They didn't have nothing. They lost it with Geno, but they really don't have nothing with Kenny Pickett.
No. And this defense is going to. I could be wrong, and the Raiders could make this a game, but I think the Texans are and that defense is at a level. I think Kenny Pickett's going to be. I have a bad feeling he could get hurt because that Texan defense is just going to be brutal.
Yeah.
And they will have Kenny Pickett on his back running for his life.
I know.
And I think and the Texans know it, and the offensive line for the Raiders is terrible, and that's not
the problem.
Yeah,
that's
it.
That's a major.
Yep, and it's been bad all year.
Yeah.
I mean, they kept blaming Geno Smith. I watched the games. Poor Geno Smith was like, he didn't even get back to drop back to pass. He never even got back to set up, and he was getting hit.
No, that's why I said it's hard to evaluate him, and it's hard to evaluate
Pickett.
Jennings.
You can't really evaluate poor Kenny Pickett because when that offensive line is that bad, you can't say, well, Kenny Pickett's not any good. I don't know because you can't see it. Geno Smith's people are down on, he's old, he's done. No, he's running for his life.
Yeah, I mean, and Ashton Jennings, they almost take the handoff before he gets it.
Right, and they keep saying, well, Ashton Jennings not living up. He doesn't live up to his clippings.
He's got nowhere to
Ashton
run.
got nowhere to run, and he gets hit before he's got the ball half the time.
I've seen it many times. He be just getting it. He's already tackled.
Yeah.
I mean, he's surprised he don't fumble, but he didn't.
Yeah, he doesn't fumble, but you think, how does he not?
I know. I mean, it's bad.
And then when he gets 3 or 4 yards, he gets hit 5 times.
They better fix the trenches. I don't want to hear about. I mean, there might be some great players out there, and I can understand if they're in the Mendoza chance and they can get them. Okay, I get that. But after that, it should be nothing but offensive linemen. Free agencies, get the best ones. I don't care. You got to pay some money. Don't be cheap. You
got to do something.
Don't be the Brown. Don't be Mike Brown.
Don't be the Bengals. Yeah.
Don't do that.
No.
Just
that's
pay
the
what
problem.
you got to pay. Get your offensive line because that stinks.
That team stinks.
That
Raiders. The
you
Raiders
are
are the worst team in football. If I'm going to rate the worst teams, I would actually rate the Raiders worse than the Giants.
Let me see who else.
The Titans.
Nah. Titans, I give them a chance because they got a decent defensive line. The offensive line is so but they're young.
The Jets, the Giants. Here, the bottom dwellers.
That offensive, it's the Raiders.
It's
is
the
the
Jets.
Worst offensive line in football.
The worst team in football by far is the Raiders. I think.
Yeah. Well, you can't do nothing on offense if you don't have no offensive line.
You have no line.
I mean, it stinks. So you're done.
You're done.
I mean, your defense could be good, just like the Browns are good.
Right. Defense.
But you can't win all season long.
With your quarterback basically being mugged and manhandled every game.
Running back can't get no openings. No.
The Giants' offensive line is much better.
Way better than the
Dart
Raiders.
has played good at times. I'm worried about the concussions with him. The defense, to me, plays okay, but they either wear out or they have a scheme issue or maybe it's a talent. I see the team, they're just I don't know if it's a coaching issue, but I wouldn't say they're the worst team. Now they might end up with the worst record and get the pick, but the Raiders are the worst team in football. And I would say the Titans might be next. The Jets, or the Jets might be next. It could be the Raiders, the Jets, the Titans, and the Giants.
I just say that as far as the Raiders, because if you don't have an offensive
but the Raiders
line,
are the worst team.
You can't win.
No,
you can't win. And yes, defense is what I love, but I know you got to have a good offense. Just something that helps. And if you don't have an offensive line, you're done.
You're done because they don't have that. The Raiders, the defense is not great, but you can't keep putting them out every.
They're out there.
Yeah, they're out there all the time, and then they're not that good to start. They're okay, but then they're done because they can't. You wear them out.
Football is complementary.
Yep.
So if you don't have the other side or your special teams or whatever not playing, then you're not winning.
No.
So, and it starts with your offense because you got to put points on the board. That's what you look for. The point. Defense is just added points if you can do some interception, pick up a fumble, whatever. But that offense you look for, you can't do anything. Now, do you got people in skill position? Brock Bowers? Yeah. But he can't get the ball.
We can't get him
if the quarterback is laying down.
Yeah.
So it's done. You can't do it. So they got the worst offensive line, so they're going to be the worst football team. That's just plain and simple.
Let's look at the Patriots at the Ravens, the Sunday nighter. Big Sunday night game. A lot of implications. You got to figure that the Patriots can't lose because if they lose, then they're tied with Buffalo. We're assuming Buffalo's going to beat Cleveland.
Right.
So Buffalo's, I believe, Buffalo's 10-4.
You're right.
So the Patriots need to win to stay up on Buffalo. So right now, Buffalo sits at 10-4. They win, they go 11-4. Patriots lose, they go to 11-4.
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens obviously now are playing for their life. Now, the only thing Ravens could get going for them is they figured if the Steelers lose, but they would be 8-7. But the Ravens have to win to get to 8-7. They can't lose either because they go to 7-8. And see, the Ravens need this game really bad.
Yeah, it's in Baltimore.
It's
right?
in Baltimore. I mean, and I don't believe. Let's look at weather. The weather in Baltimore on a Sunday night is going to be 33 degrees, clear, sunny, and no sun, no rain, no snow, no anything. It's going to be clear and 33 degrees. So weather's not really at play here.
And what's the spread?
The spread is the Ravens lay 3 points to the Patriots. So the Patriots are getting 3 points. They lost last week against the Bills 35-31 in a weird game. They were dominating and then fell apart in the second half, which is un-Rabel-like at all. They're not like, Rabel, I think, was shaking his head too, thinking, what the hell happened? So, but it's a young team, and that can happen. And Buffalo is a driven team and needed that win and got it. The Ravens shut out the Bengals last week 24-0 because I thought the Bengals pretty much mailed that in. Cold day in Cincinnati, and they were shut out by the Ravens 24-0. And I had that game on for a while, but you could see that the Bengals had nothing.
Yeah,
and the Ravens looked good, and they took advantage. Now,
and Lamar Jackson's starting to move around a lot better.
Right, because of the injury, the hamstring, he's moving around a little bit better. Now the Patriots, though, realize that they need to win the game because they got the Jets. The Patriots have the Jets, and they have Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know in what order, but I know that's who they have left. So they're looking at it as, we win this game. Yeah, we have the Jets at home next week.
And then go to Miami.
And then they go to Miami to end the year. But the Patriots go, if we win this game, we go to 12-3. The Jets stink. We'll win that game. They have to think. The Jets are so bad. So we win them. We have the division. I believe they get the division.
I'm gonna take them.
If they beat the Jets and they beat the Patriots, beat Ravens and Jets, I believe they get the division.
Oh yeah, they will. I think they will.
Yeah, they would get it because they have the better division record than Buffalo, because Buffalo, I believe, lost to Miami and the Patriots.
Right. I'm gonna go with New England. Take the 3 points. I'm still not I won't be surprised if Baltimore win this game, and just keep that pressure on Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I won't be surprised.
Yeah, I won't be surprised because this is the NFL. This is how it's been, and they are starting to play a lot better. And if they could do that, start confusing May and maybe knocking him around a little bit, I don't know what would happen. They better stop the run. They've been good against the run. So stop our guy, Big Derek. Got to get on Henry quick.
You got to get him quick.
And if you can get him to slow that down and make him more one-dimensional, I think
the
they
thing
can.
with the Ravens, they haven't been consistent this year.
No, it's just been the last couple of weeks, though, they have been playing good.
They've been playing better.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of hoping, if you're a Raven fan, that they've turned the proverbial corner. Although sometimes it's hard to win 3 in a row if you're not consistent. I'll take the Patriots because they're coming off the loss and they're due. And I think Rabel will get them coached up and get the fear of God in them and say, hey, guys, cut the crap. You gave one away last week. This week we got to make it right.
Yeah.
And I think I'll go there. Let's go the Monday night game because it's the 49ers are at the Colts. And they're getting 5.5 points.
The Colts?
Yeah. The Colts get 5.5. They're a home dog getting 5.5.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I got to give some kudos to Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, played good.
5 years out from the NFL. Comes in there.
Played good.
Throwing some darts in there. I mean, putting them right on target. You can
still
see
had
he still had a command of the offense. He's fine with that.
He still has it.
Yeah.
I mean, he could still run the team. Granted, he can't throw it 40 or 50 downfield, but he could throw those passes.
That they need to do when they offense. So, and he was getting some zip on it, too, which was really
he
shocking.
He still has it.
Now, I don't know if he's in a body cast now because he's so sore, but but that guy, man, I always like Phillip Rivers because that guy is a competitor. And he's the only quarterback I know that is so driven of talking stuff. He talks stuff to linebackers, defensive linemen, anything. He talks mess to them all day long. He's a tough guy, man. To be in that league that long and not get battered. He's a tough dude.
Tough guy, man.
5.5. It makes me want to take them, but they playing in San Fran, though, aren't they?
No, playing in Colts.
Oh, it's in oh, my.
It's at Indy. It's a dome game, Monday night.
This is interesting, man. I don't know.
Colts are 8-6, and right now they're outside looking in, and I think
they almost had that game too.
They should have beat Seattle.
Yeah, they right there.
They had it there, but they gave Seattle too much time.
Yep.
For Myers to kick the field goal to win the game for Seattle, but they really had the game. I thought they had it 1-2.
Let's see.
If let's look up. Let's see. When we look this up real quick and look at the playoff situation, right now, Baltimore, we talked about the Colts are out. If they lose, they go to 8-7. If the Texans win and go to 10-5, and the Buffalo goes to 11-4, and the Chargers win, they go to 11-4. And then Jacksonville leads the division at 10-4. But I guess my whole point to this, if the Colts win, they're out. They're done. They'd be 8-7 with 2 games left.
You mean if they lose?
If they lose, the Colts lose this game, they're out of it.
They probably are. They win this game, they're still in it.
They still got a shot.
They're really in it if Jacksonville gets beat by Denver, because then they only one game.
Right.
Apart.
If the Colts win, they go to 9-6. Jacksonville loses to Denver. They go to 10-5, and Jacksonville's remaining schedule, they actually play at Indy next week.
Yeah, and wouldn't that be?
And then they finish at Tennessee. Right, that game next week, they go to at Indy. If Indy beats the 49ers, and then Jags lose, they're a game apart, and the next week the Colts can catch them.
Yep. I'm
So again, this is a tough call.
I'm gonna
you
take
get
the Colts
5.5.
I'm gonna take the 5.5. Their defense plays pretty decent. They do. So, if Rivers can take care of the football again, I think they might stay competitive enough. Still think San Fran's going to win.
I'll take the Niners, lay the points.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a mistake, but I think the way the 49ers are playing now, they have to continue to win to keep pace with the Rams.
Right, they
who
have
are
to.
11-4 now, and I believe they would clinch. If the Niners win, they would clinch a playoff spot at 11-4.
I just think the players rally.
See, Green Bay needs to win.
No, they have to. But the players rally around Phillip Rivers because they was looking at nothing against Riley Leonard, but you lose your quarterbacks are gone.
No,
now you got to go to a rookie.
He's got a bad knee.
Yeah, but I'm saying even if he was healthy,
you're right.
It looks like your season over after you had a great start to it, and now you got to go with a rookie. You know, Richardson won't be out. I mean, he'll be out another week at least.
Yeah, I guess that's
he
a
practiced
question.
This week, but he wasn't.
He can't. He's not cleared to play
yet.
No.
Yeah, he's not cleared
because
to play.
he's got that fractured
bone.
orbital bone. He's going to be out another week.
Yep.
So you got, and you're in. Sadly, you're on the cusp.
I think they felt confident with Rivers at quarterback.
Yeah.
They know they got a veteran that knows the stuff, and then they just need to play. So
yeah,
we'll see. That's going to be a good game. I think it is.
Yeah, because this is where the Colts have it tough, though. Because after this week, they end up with Houston. See, the Colts have to go at Houston to play.
So they got Jacksonville in Houston.
That's how their schedule lays out. They got Jacksonville home next week. Then they play at Houston the following week in Houston.
Got to win them all. That's the thing.
Houston's going to be in a situation where
they got to win.
They got to win to tie. Because they're fighting with Jacksonville right now. They could get the division.
Yeah.
If they see Houston's in a situation, I think they could actually win that division if they went out.
That division is good too. I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
It's a good division too. Yeah.
We can hear. Is that the Hall of Famer in the background? Yeah, he's in.
Oh.
Our boy Gessler's in the background.
Well, he must have been in his office there.
Yeah, Where are those dogs, Gessler? Bring in those dogs. We need those dogs. So that's our picks. The Colts, the 49ers. I'll take Niners. You take the Colts.
Yep.
It'll be. I think this is going to wind up to be a great week in NFL football. You're starting today. Washington taking on the Eagles, and then tonight is
Packers and Bears.
Packers and Bears.
Yeah.
Lot to get to. We still got a half hour left, so we got to look at the college games. I told Irish Mike we were on till noon. Saturday Morning Sports 8 back after this.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Are you ready to hit the gridiron and make your mark? The Cleveland Cobras are recruiting players and coaches for the upcoming Premier Amateur Football League season. We're looking for passion, grit, and the relentless drive to win. Whether you're a seasoned vet or hungry rookie, your shot starts now. Join a brotherhood, build a legacy, strike with the Cobras. Follow us on Facebook at Cleveland Cobras Football, or for league information, visit PAFLfootball.com to get started today. Team, pride, Cobras.
Here's a fun fact for you. The average chameleon can point their eyes in 2 different directions. On the other hand, the average human can't. So unless you're a chameleon, there's absolutely no way you can focus on texting and driving at the same time. So don't do it, unless you're a chameleon.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Sherman Gillums Jr., Paralyzed Veterans of America.
For more than 70 years, Paralyzed Veterans of America has helped hundreds of thousands of veterans get all the benefits they've earned.
Al Kovac Jr., Paralyzed Veterans of America.
We provide one-on-one support tailored to your individual needs, including healthcare advocacy, benefits support, and career assistance.
For more information, call 1-800-424-8200 or visit pva.org. A public service of Paralyzed Veterans of America.
Saturday morning sports page back. We have a Gessler's in our terrorizing us now. In our studio, I'm looking for the headset. I'm looking like, where's your dogs at, Gessler? Where's Mocha Joe? We need your dogs here. Yeah, okay. Anyway, we're back. We got a overtime, but we got our NFL picks in. We'll see what happens. We got to look at the college though. When Irish Mike, if he calls in, he can give us his picks. We can go ahead and do our picks. Today at noon, we got these games stink. I'm sorry. They got two games here that just stink. I'm sorry. Tulane at Ole Miss. Give me a break. And then James Madison at Oregon. Nick Saban had something to say. I was listening to the show and Saban had a comment. I'm going to dig it up about this whole playoff. He compared the Tulanes and the James Madison to like the AAA. Why he goes like it's like if you have the AAAs play and then the winner would come in and play the World Series. He said, which he's right. I agree with him 100%. But anyway, I'm paraphrasing what Nick said. I'll get the actual quote on. But anyway, let's look at these games. Miami at Texas A&M, which is the best college game of the day, at least on paper. Texas A&M -3. So they're at Texas A&M. These are at. Yeah, it's a hard place to win. Here's Irish Mike. All right, that's good. He called. Good. Let's bring it in. Saturday morning sports page. What's up?
Good morning, Pac. Morning, Dave. How you guys doing?
Hey, Irish Mike. What's happening?
Merry Christmas to you guys and your families.
Merry Christmas. We were just talking about Nick Saban had a quote yesterday on the playoffs. There it is. Technical difficulty here. Never mind.
You got the king of the board came in and took care of it.
Yeah, it was my fault. Anyway, I liked what Nick Saban had to say about it. He said something, if the teams aren't ranked like top 15, they shouldn't get in. Suggesting that a group of 5 conference winners like JMU and Tulane should have their own playoff instead of, that's what we said. Yeah. They should have their own playoff instead of displacing highly ranked teams like Notre Dame.
And I didn't even think BYU could have been in. They could have exchanged
right. You
BYU
could have put
and
BYU, Notre Dame in for these two teams. But on the minimum, Notre Dame definitely belonged in. Yeah. But JMU out.
Yeah, I said that. That's the first one out.
Let me ask you guys this. The one game's at 4:30 and the other one's at 8 o'clock. Tulane or JMU, They're both playing later on today. Obviously, at Miami A&M at noon.
Right.
Do you think those guys? I'm being honest here. Do you think the TV ratings are going to be down for both those games?
Oh yeah, they're
the later game.
The ratings. Are the ratings going to be down?
The ratings for the 4:30 game and then the 8 o'clock game, Dave. For both games.
Yeah, they're going to.
You're going against the NFL.
Yeah,
you're done.
Yeah.
You see, if you threw, this is what I keep saying. If you put Notre Dame on at 3:30 against Ole Miss instead of Tulane, because that was played. But if you put Notre Dame on at 3:30 against Ole Miss and the Washington and Phillies on at 5 o'clock, you would have everybody watch Notre Dame. And then after that was over, they would get the second half of Philly and Washington.
Yep.
But they're not going to sit and watch Philly and Washington the first half. Had Notre Dame been playing, we'll just say if it was Notre Dame at Ole Miss, would have been like a big game for TNT to advertise, and I think they would have got the viewers. Yeah. But with Tulane playing them, which is a game they already played, that rating's going to be, I think personally, the rating's not going to be very good because people will just turn into Philly, Washington, but they wouldn't have had Notre Dame been in.
Yeah, I just think the NFL is always going to take it.
And they always will.
Even if Notre Dame was playing, I think now you got them on split screen.
But
they're going to get
right.
They're not going to just like, I'm not watching it. This is something about the NFL.
But what you would have is you would just have I think you got viewers like I'll put myself in the category. If Notre Dame was in, what I would ultimately do, I would watch the whole Notre Dame game, and I would have the Philly game. I have it on my tablet, but I'd have the Notre Dame game. Believe me, my wife, we would be watching Notre Dame. We'd have Notre Dame on the main set, and that's cool. And like Gessler's same way. He's like, yeah, because he's the
I'm
same
watching
way.
both.
Right.
That's
I
just me.
would, but
That's
the
just
way
me.
we would do it
I don't care who
is
on
I
Miami,
would be watching.
anybody, I don't care.
I would watch the pro game on the tablet,
Mm-hmm.
but we would watch the whole Notre Dame game, then go to the NFL.
Yeah, I'm gonna still watch it.
Tonight,
I'm watching both. Everything.
Tonight though, because it's Tulane and Ole Miss at 3:30, we're probably gonna watch. We'll watch the Philly game. We're gonna watch Philly Washington primary, and then I'll watch the Tulane.
Well, you get to see.
But you're
at least
right,
the whole
Irish Mike.
first
The
half.
thing with kills college
see.
football, and this is what I kept screaming and yelling about the whole time, is why isn't Notre Dame in? Because even from a team perspective, they belong in because they're the better team. But from a ratings perspective, it's not close.
Well, I always thought they was going to do what they said when they first talked about expanding the playoff. The teams from 1 to 12 in the rankings are the ones that'll get in there.
That's what they
That's
deserve
what they
to.
said.
Right, that's what they said.
Now I can understand you get the Power 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
But I would get the top teams to make sure in the rankings, so that when you go at large bids, those are the teams that be in there. You can't. And the only divisions I'm going to look at is it's no more Pac 10, 12, whatever it was. No more of that. So you got the Big 12, the Big 10, the SEC, the ACC. Okay, you get them. After that, those at large bids should go to those teams that are ranked. That's why I say Tulane and James Madison could be gone. Notre Dame should have been first in, and then I maybe put BYU in, or I'm trying to think of a couple other teams, but I definitely it'd be other teams in there, because I don't want to see Tulane and Mississippi play again. And James Madison, even though they're well coached, they got some good players, but Oregon got too much talent.
Oregon's gonna.
They should smoke them. They should. But if they don't, then we love chaos, so that might happen. But they should. Both games should be blowouts. And if Miami cannot stop Texas A&M running game, that will be a blowout too.
Yeah.
I'm not a homer type guy. I might like a team, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. If Miami cannot stop them from running the football,
it'll be a long day.
It'll be a long, long day down there. Long. Can't wait until it's over.
Well, Irish Mike, what do you think of the Miami at Texas A&M game? -3 points. Texas A&M.
I think Dave's right. Whether a team that can run the ball, establish a run game, is going to be win the game.
And they both like to run. So
what do you think?
And A&M has more of a dual threat quarterback too, though. He's a good runner and a good passer. Where
and they're home.
Obviously the young man from Georgia is more of a passing quarterback.
Right.
And then the thing with Beck is, as I told Pat before we came here, is what Beck is you going to get?
Yeah,
you get the Beck that played against Notre Dame and a couple other teams. That one was pretty good.
Or
if you get the Beck that played against Louisville, you're going to get rolled.
You're going to get rolled quick.
So that's what I'm saying. You don't know what he's going to be. And that's the thing. If he gets a lot of that's one thing I always said about Beck, though. He get hit a lot and get a lot of pressure on him. Sometimes he folds up. Now, it'd be nice to see if he can not do that this time, but that's what usually does happen to him.
Irish Mike, did you watch the game last night, Bama and Oklahoma?
No, I did not. Okay. We had a prior family engagement that I had to take care of. Okay. So I did not. I barely watched any of the game. Maybe watched 3 or 4 plays and then the highlights this morning. So the answer is no.
No. Okay.
I know Oklahoma jumped out 17-0 lead, and I saw the highlight, Pat, where when they Oklahoma or Bama cut it to 17-7, the Oklahoma quarterback threw the ball downfield about 35 yards, and the receiver dropped the ball. There was no one within 10 yards of him. It would have been an easy touchdown and made it 24-7.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then obviously Bama goes back down and scores, then the punter drops the ball.
Yeah, that punter dropped the ball
Yeah.
last night. Yeah, they kind of handed that game to Alabama, and then when Alabama kind of caught their wind, it was like a boxer getting knocked down in the first or second round, but then they let Alabama get up and recover, and then that pick 6 right before the half was pretty much, you had a feeling that was it. I I thought Alabama was then going to take over, and they did. But I got to give Oklahoma credit. They scored that touchdown to cut it to 3, but then they could not stop Bama and let Bama come down the field and score the touchdown, and you knew then it was over. So
both teams combined to run for like 83 yards total?
Yeah.
Neither team can run the ball. That's going to be an issue when they play. That's been their bugaboo for the last month and a half, and neither team can run the ball. Neither team's offense
Yep.
Very limited. Yeah, they don't run the ball at all. They like to sling it and throw the ball a lot. And, that works. Now, obviously, Bama will play Indiana next week or January 1st.
Yeah.
In the Rose Bowl.
In the Rose Bowl. And then Ohio State's going to get the winner of this game, Miami and Texas A&M.
Wow, is it that long off?
And they don't play till the 31st. They play December 31st. Ohio State's going to be out. Indiana, Ohio State, and these teams with the bye. I see that doesn't work well. I think that hurt. Last year it hurt them because they all lost. All those teams that had the bye got beat. And I don't know. Ohio State's going to get either one of these teams, but Ohio State doesn't play till December 31st.
Yeah, it'll be tough because you'll be a little rusty.
You're going to be rusty.
You can't.
Another interesting thing, Pat, if they get A&M, they're playing in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, so that's only 150 miles down the road from A&M.
Yeah, that's a home
But
game.
they did play Texas there last year. They beat the Texas Longhorns in Dallas, so they've done it before. But their only other option was the Orange Bowl, and they didn't want to put them there because if Miami wins, that makes it a Miami home game.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to play
right
there because it would be a Miami home game.
Right.
You can't have that. A&M, that's Lubbock, but we talked about that last week. That's like 5-hour drive, which is nothing.
Well, Texas Tech, you mean?
Yeah.
A&M.
A&M is in Lubbock.
State. No, A&M is in College
Station. That's
Station.
right. College Station. Yeah. A&M that's correct. Yeah, that's down in Houston.
Yep. Lubbock is
Texas Tech. Is Texas. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I got my geography straightened out. But anyway, right. A&M is College Station. That's down outside of Houston.
Yeah. I
don't know. Yeah, they could come. That is kind of a quasi home game for A&M. But you're right. They played the Cotton Bowl, Texas, and they beat them. And Ohio State fans all travel anyway. So wherever they go, they're going to have all the fans there because all the Buckeye fans will get on the plane and fly to Texas, and you'll have a lot of people in the stadium. Or if it's Miami, like they did years ago when they played the game out in Arizona, they played Miami and won back in 2002. That was a home game for Ohio State because the whole stadium was red.
I had a buddy call me or text me, Pat. It was early November. It was probably about 6 weeks ago. Miami played a home game at noon on ESPN against Syracuse. And he's a big Ohio State fan. He texted me about 15, 20 minutes in the game. He goes, this is embarrassing. I'm watching the Syracuse-Miami game from Miami, and there can't be 10,000 people in the audience, in the crowd.
Nobody there. Yeah.
But it's a big NIL school. I don't know where the donors come from. But,
I don't either.
Sometimes – now, when Notre Dame comes to town, Dave Clark, those Miami fans find their way to that stadium for some reason. For whatever reason, they're there when we show up.
Well, when you live in South Beach, it's a different.
The problem the problem you ultimately have there. It's Notre Dame. It's national. The national brand is Notre Dame. Ohio State is second, but Notre Dame is number one. It's like, well, I won't go there. I was going to compare insurance companies, but I'm not going to do that. But the point is, Notre Dame is the team. Yeah. You have a lot of, like New York City, it's the Subway, known for the Subway alumni. You've got football teams there in New York, but nobody cares about them. They care about college football teams. The only college football team that they really care about in New York City is Notre Dame. It's been that way
That's why they always play in Yankee Stadium all the time.
And it's been that way for 100 years. And I'm not, it's not something that just happened. No, I mean, and that's what it's always been. I keep telling the story. When I grew up there, that's the only college football team we always had was Notre Dame. It was like God's team, and everybody rooted for Notre Dame. We didn't even know other teams existed. But that's why I know I don't want to keep beating the dead horse here about Notre Dame not getting in, but I always want to just go to the committee and want to shake them, go, what are you people thinking about? Did you not get the memo? But we came to the conclusion,
Didn't they just follow the contract, Pat? They had no choice. They had to follow the guidelines, but I don't think they wanted to do it. But I think from a rule standpoint and a guidance standpoint, they had no choice.
I don't know. I still think they could have. I still blame the ACC here. They screwed this whole thing up. Yeah. They should have just said, "Look, we're changing our tiebreaker. We're taking the two highly rated teams, and they're playing off in the playoff." Who's going to argue with that? I mean, that's the other thing I said.
There's a guy I know and trust in Notre Dame, and he's been following the team for years, and he covers the team. He swears that Virginia would have beat Duke in that ACC title game 2 weeks ago in overtime, that Virginia would have gotten in, obviously, as ACC champ, and that Notre Dame would have got in ahead of Miami because the ACC would have been happy that they had represented. He said there was no way the ACC wasn't getting one team in.
He's right.
That was not going to happen.
Right. And I agree with
There was too much money involved. He said it deals with a lot of money, not only now but in the future.
Right. And I agree with them there. But the problem you have with that flawed is because of Duke won, and that screwed everything up. And that opened the door to James Madison getting in, which gives us...
But it goes back to you hated the rules tiebreaker to let Duke in the title game anyway with 5 losses.
Right. And
then Duke could have won that game by 6 touchdowns. They were never getting in.
No, exactly. And here's the other thing, too. Now you gave us crappy matchups for today. Because that's all I care about. I want good teams to play. I wanted Notre Dame to go to Oregon and play at Oregon. Or Notre Dame to go to Ole Miss and play Ole Miss and let Tulane go out to Oregon. Because I would rather see...
I know you guys know me for years. My preference as a Notre Dame fan, obviously you want to win. My preferential treatment was to play Oklahoma down in Norman because I didn't think they were very good. I got to be brutally honest with you.
Well, you were
I thought that was a very, very winnable game.
Yeah,
and by a comfortable margin.
Probably. I think they would have won going away.
Yeah, so do I.
Let's go to the picks before we forget. Why not? Not that we'd forget. We're just going to run out of time. But let's get to Miami at Texas A&M, -3 points. So Miami gets 3 points at Texas A&M.
Taking Texas.
I'll let Dave Clark go first.
Okay. I'll tell you. I already said I'm taking A&M.
Yeah.
Because that's a hard place to play.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's a hard.
I got to lay the points.
Schedule this year, Pat. Remember, Dave? They played a bunch of home games at the beginning of the year. I don't think Miami ventured outside of the state of Florida until like late October, early November. And you know what I mean?
I like.
Florida State was down this year. This has to be by far the hardest environment they played in all year, correct? Because they played like 8 home games this year.
Yeah.
From Miami's perspective.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It's going to be 67 degrees and cloudy, so it's going to be nice. It's going to be a nice day in Texas for football.
Everywhere else we've been talking about.
Yeah, better than that. So it's 67 degrees and cloudy. So
I'll go with A&M as well.
Yeah, I'll lay the 3 points. Okay, tonight it's lumber truck time. Pull up the lumber truck, Dave Clark. And this is, I blame the committee for this, or ACC, but I blame somebody for this. Jeez, you idiots. Tulane at Ole Miss. This is like the lollipop games. 17.5 points. You have the best 12 teams in the country. The next one's worse. But 17.5 points. Tulane gets 17 and a hook at Ole Miss. No Lane Kiffin, we know that, but the offensive coordinator's there. Can that make a difference? This is, 45-10 in regular season. So it's a replay of the regular season game. There's always a problem with a team beating a team twice. And I guess the question is, are they going to beat them 45-10, which would cover it, or is this going to be a close game and Ole Miss does not cover it?
But I wonder, can they stay within 7? You said
that's 17 and a hook.
Because they had chances in the other game, like I told you. When they
showed that.
Yeah, I got to watch it over, but they made big mistakes in certain places. They had people that was injured that are now playing in this game, maybe, and with the Lane Kiffin factor, maybe they can stay within it. I don't think they have no shot at winning.
I don't think they win, but
can they get? Can they get beat? Let me see, 30-17 or 30-14? Maybe they could do that.
Yeah.
You know, I think I'm gonna take that.
You're gonna take the Ole Miss? No, you're taking Tulane and the points.
I just wonder.
That's a lot of points.
A quarterback. Where did he come from? Somewhere. I think he went to a big program and transferred to Tulane. Didn't he?
He was at a Division II school, right?
Was he? I don't know.
He was transferred there in May.
Who was it? Who was the guy? I might be thinking of somebody. Now, Chambliss.
Jake Retzlaff.
Yeah, where'd he come from?
He's not related to Pete Retzlaff, the guy that played for the Eagles back in the 60s.
But that guy
I
came
asked
from
that question.
somewhere.
Jake Retzlaff played for BYU.
That's it.
2023, 2024.
Right.
He played for, actually, this is great. He played for Golden West in 2021. I never heard of that school. Riverside in 2022.
That's
BYU, and now he's the Tulane quarterback.
Yeah, that's junior college.
Yeah, that's junior college.
Man, nah, they're not going to do it. They're going to get killed again. I've changed my mind. I'm going back to Mississippi.
You Ole Miss?
Yeah, when I'm thinking about something, no. That's Chambliss, the quarterback, right, from Mississippi I'm thinking of? Is he? That's Mississippi's quarterback, right?
Irish Mike. Do you know that?
Yeah, I'm going to go with I'm going to go with Ole Miss too. I mean, I think they win big.
Is that the quarterback Chambliss I'm thinking of?
Yes.
Oh yeah, no.
He was in Division II school last year.
Yeah, and he was in the Heisman. I mean, he was in that race for that, I guess. But regardless, I didn't see him play. He plays very good. I think they're gonna kill him. Now that I think of it, it's not. It might be worse.
So
they might want to show Lane Kiffin we can win without him too. So
yeah,
I take Mississippi.
Their quarterback is it Chambliss?
Yeah.
Trinidad.
Yep, that's it.
Okay. Irish Mike, what you say you?
I'm going to go with Ole Miss, right? I mean,
lay the wood.
Yep.
Yeah, Dave Clark was making a really good point for Tulane, and I was leaning that way because I was thinking with no. But
I thought I had to think about Mississippi quarterback Chambliss. That guy makes plays with his feet and arms. So
I'll take Ole Miss.
I think it's going to be too much.
Maybe they don't cover. They win. But I have a bad feeling. I'm always wrong that this is going to be an ugly game. But okay, let's move on to the big one of the one that's on prime time. We're getting again.
I'm taking Oregon
the ACC/playoff committee. I'm blaming them. I'm sorry.
I'm taking Oregon too. I'm giving up all these
20.5.
Because they at home. If this was
Oregon
at a neutral site,
home, James Madison goes out to Oregon at home, 7:30 tonight. Can James Madison keep it under 20.5? I'm convinced they're going to lose. But does Oregon blow them off the map? 20.5 points. That's a lot of wood.
That's a lot.
That's the biggest spread this weekend, even with all the pro games. This is the biggest spread.
Yeah, I'm going to take.
We didn't even do the other bowl games, but
I'm going to take them.
You're going to lay the wood in Oregon.
Yeah.
Me too, Pat. I'll take Oregon.
I think if it's a neutral site,
they might have that covered by halftime, Lucia.
Yeah,
instead of Oregon, that's the thing. If it was at a neutral site, I might.
I got to go Oregon. I could be wrong. Oregon. I think you're right, Irish Mike.
That's a hard place to play too.
It's a brutal place.
That's what I'm saying. If they was playing somewhere, I don't care.
If it was neutral site, maybe.
I might take the 20.
But I think that's Oregon is going to go crazy.
I think it's going to play a big effect. Being at home.
What I kind of hope for is I hope these games are massive blowouts, and then that way everybody could scream and yell.
Yeah, Clark, I knew this was coming. I knew he was setting you up for this.
I hope
he wants blowout after blowout.
I do. I want Ole Miss to beat them 55-3, and I want James Madison to get absolutely boat raced like 59-0. And now say, see, thank you, committee. This is what you idiots. I'm sorry. This is what you gave us. Yeah. Everybody and Saban's 100% right.
Well, I thought that's what they're going to do. They're going to take the champions, and then after. Now I understand I'm not taking Duke, but regardless, you're going to take the champions, and then the highest ranked
your best teams.
After
this isn't that hard.
That's all you need. Hey,
Dave, are you guys doing a show next Saturday?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I guarantee you, next Saturday, 7 days from now, Lucia will have the TV ratings for these two games. Talking about the TV ratings for both of these games. I guarantee that's coming in 7 days.
It will, because where they're going to. They're going up against the NFL, and the problem you have with this game, it's going up against the Packers and the Bears.
That's the game you really don't want to go up.
And
against.
that's the game you really don't.
They could be losing records.
And
you
want to see that.
Watch you want to see the Packers.
But now these teams have so much in the hunt. I mean,
this is big.
The Packers playing for the division title, and the Bears trying to hold on to it. And the Bears know they have to win because their schedule's tough. They Bears have a real tough schedule left, but
Yep.
that's why the NFL is always king anyway.
Yeah,
but I beat the dead horse here.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. Maybe if they go back to that rule where they take the ranked teams after they get their power teams that they want in, then do that. That's the way it should be. Because what was Tulane's ranking? In the 20s, maybe?
Yeah.
And James Madison was ranked 25th?
Yeah, James
somewhere
Madison.
like that?
Yeah.
I don't think they were under 20.
Like Nick Saban said, if you aren't in the top 15, I don't care what league you play in, you shouldn't be in the playoffs.
Right.
And that's what and I agree with him 5,000%.
You should be picking from the top 15.
Yeah. If you want to throw a lollipop team in there, okay, 1, but not 2.
Well, that lollipop team still should be ranked in the top 15.
Right, they should be. And if they're not, don't put them in. This isn't NCAA basketball. I don't give me the Cinderella crap. These teams have no chance. If they win one game, they're not advancing. Right?
We'll see.
I didn't get it. I didn't get the bracket. Who does Irish Mike? Do you know who's the winner? Tulane and Ole Miss. Who do they play?
That winner plays Georgia.
Georgia, yeah.
And then the winner of the Oregon game, James Madison, plays Texas Tech.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. That's it.
Well, once we get down to that, it'll be good.
We'll see. All right. Hey, Irish Mike, thanks for calling.
Merry Christmas to both you guys and your family. Take care, guys.
To you and your family.
See you now.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Take care.
Thanks, Irish Mike, for calling in. There you go, Dave Clark. Merry Christmas to you and your family, Dave Clark.
Yep, same to you now.
And we'll be back next weekend and do the show again. Saturday Morning Sports Page. Merry Christmas to all. Do not drink and do not drive. Stay safe. Stay sober. Everybody have a great, safe week and a safe holiday. Merry Christmas.
Youngstown, Warren, and Salem Sports Talk is on the iMedia1 Network. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast.
This is Live Bet Saturday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
It's the first step in the chase for a national championship. It's the opening round of the college football playoff as we say hello and welcome to Live Bet Saturday right here on VSiN. I'm Ben Stevens. Jared Smith joining us in just a matter of moments, live from the Circus Sportsbook in downtown Las Vegas as well. The opening of 3 games in this first round of the college football playoff. A CFP triple header on this Saturday as we get you ready for the holiday season. And it feels very festive in college football. A jam-packed Saturday slate all around the football landscape. We've got FCS semifinal action in the lower level of Division I in college football. A huge game, the Super Brawl, the Brawl of the Wild between Montana and Montana State. NFL action later in the day as well. A doubleheader in the National Football League. College hoops galore, but our primary focus, the college football playoff. In the first of 3 on this CFP Saturday, at Kyle Field in College Station, Texas. More than 100,000 there to welcome in the Miami Hurricanes as Texas A&M, the 7 seed in the college football playoff bracket, welcomes in the 10 seed in the Hurricanes. A monumental game that has seen a lot of market movement in the week and a half build up to this opening round affair in the college football playoff. The line opened at 4 in favor of the Aggies at home in College Station. As we get ready for kick, just a few moments away at Kyle Field, the number no longer 4, not even north of a field goal. As we see it on DraftKings, here the number you see 3, but we are seeing even different movement, a 2.5-point spread in favor of A&M. The Aggies still slightly favored at home in terms of the market movement, not just in who is expected to win the game in advance of the CFP quarterfinals, but also how many points we are going to see. The over-under opened in many spots at 51. It is down to 48.5. Miami, a top 10 scoring defense in the sport. The 7th best rushing defense in FBS college football this year. They are great up front on the defensive side of the football. But so too is Texas A&M under Mike Elko. 41 sacks for the Aggies entering the opening round of the college football playoff, tied for the most nationally alongside Oklahoma. OU did record 4 sacks last night, albeit in a losing effort that we'll break down and recap for you against Alabama at home. The Crimson Tide, the first ever team to win on the road in the 12-team college football playoff. Miami, with some market movement behind it, hoping to do the same. Of course, when you focus on the Hurricanes, that defense is great. The offensive line has only allowed 11 sacks this year, and the quarterback in Carson Beck will be that primary focus. 6 of his 10 interceptions in 2025 in the 2 losses for Miami. He is hoping to play clean football today against an A&M secondary that only has 3 interceptions so far this season. So, as we are just a few minutes away from kickoff at Kyle Field in College Station, Texas, between A&M and Miami. Again, the Aggies a 2.5-point favorite. The total stands at 48 and a hook. Let's hear from both head coaches as they get ready for this affair. We start with a visiting team. How have Miami and Mario Cristobal gotten ready for the opening round of the college football playoff? And what is the plan of attack today at Kyle Field? Let's hear from Cristobal ahead of Miami's matchup against A&M.
The best thing about this team, besides the fact that they're fun to be around, they are, is that they love to work, like they love the grind. It's a very hungry, driven team. It's a team with tremendous hearts as it relates to football and off the field as well. We believe strongly that this team is wired in the right manner.
Of course, Miami was a part of all of the conjecture and conversation about the 12 teams that earned a spot in the college football playoff. In the final rankings on Selection Sunday, the only reveal technically that mattered, it was finally the head-to-head in the victory way back in week number 1 over Notre Dame that did matter for Miami. Into the college football playoff, their own lone representative from the ACC. But we have seen home field advantage in college football meant to be played on campus be a monumental aspect of the opening round of the college football playoff. And when you have 102,000 very loud and charged up in College Station, Texas, that is going to provide that home field advantage for the Aggies, a slight 2.5-point favorite. Here's Mike Elko, the head coach of A&M, on the opening round game against the Hurricanes.
I think the focus has been on the internal. I think everyone has looked at this place externally, and you see this massive field, stadium, resources, all of the things that we have. But in a lot of ways, we were very hollow on the inside of all of those buildings. And I think that's what our staff has really focused on, has been building the culture, building the character, building the accountability in all phases in and around this program. And I think we have elevated so much inside of the walls of this program, from how we function, from how we take care of our student athletes, from how our student athletes respect what they've been given here, just to how everything vibes and feels together. And I think all of that is a huge piece of becoming successful. And I think maybe for the first time, those ingredients have come together the right way. And that's where the results, I think, are coming from.
Mike Elko and his ball club about to take the field at Kyle Field as they will welcome in